Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, the adventures of Superman.
You can't ignore it, Chief. You've got to go out there.
Oh, where are the binoculars?
I've got them. It looks like a fire.
Yeah, let's have them.
Here, point them that way.
I know how to point them.
Well?
It isn't a fire.
What is it, then?
I don't know.
Whatever it is, we better get out there in a hurry.
Who's running this boat? You or me?
Now,
Sorry.
Chief, don't lose your temper.
Don't give me that now, Chief Routine.
I'll take the wheel.
No, you won't. All lines up?
Yeah, all up.
I don't know why I let you imbeciles talk me into things. But I know I won't get any peace unless we waste time and gas chasing a globe in the sky. So here goes.
It looks like a barge or something.
Don't lean too far over the rail, Jim.
No.
What do you make of it, Clark?
It does look like a barge, but a fancy one.
Boy, I'll say it's fancy. All silks and satins and stuff.
All right. Stop the kidding. You've seen enough now. I'll turn around.
No, Chief, please.
Oh, you can't turn back
Mr.
now.
Kent, Mr. Kent.
What is it, Jim?
Look, there's a lady on that barge, and she's dead.
Dead? What are you talking about?
Didn't you see her, Mr. Kent?
Well, yes, I did, but I didn't want to say anything.
Let me have the glasses, Clark.
Here.
Of all the crazy things.
Well, I don't see anything, Jim, except silk and velvet and satin drapery.
Yeah, that's where she is. Right in the middle of them, toward the back. She's got kind of a long white dress on.
You're right, Jim. I do see her now. Good heavens. Hurry up, Chief. Get close to the barge.
Start, Chief. Slow down, Chief. Full speed ahead, Chief. Hurry up, Chief. Who's running this boat anyway?
You are, Chief. Swing her over to starboard.
I know
Hard.
what I'm doing.
Clark, what's the strange light pouring down on the barge?
I don't know.
It's coming from the top of the mast. It's a big bulb or something.
Okay, throttle down, Chief. We'll drift alongside.
Will you stop giving me orders?
Sure.
I'll get the boat hook.
Won't be necessary, Jim. Tide slack and there's no wind. Just be careful we don't bump. You take the stern, Jim.
Okay.
Lois, you watch it here, will you? I'll take the bow. Kill your motor, Chief.
Huh.
That's fine. All right, we'll drift right alongside. Everybody watch it now. Hold her off. That does it.
Yeah. And now what?
We're going on board. At least I am.
Now look here, Kent. I don't want you to...
Wait a minute. What was that?
It sounds like a bird.
That's what it was. A bird's call.
But I don't see any bird. Do you, Clark?
No, but I see the light on the mast. The sound came from that direction.
Now I suppose you'll tell me a light can whistle like a bird.
Well, not exactly, but that light is no ordinary light. Watch it a minute. See? See how it flickers as though it were turning from side to side?
Yeah.
Look out!
Hey, the light's coming toward us. It's flying.
Now, get down, everybody!
Is it gone yet?
Okay. It's back on the barge now.
Boy, that was close. What was it?
A bird.
Bird that glows in the dark?
That's right, Jim.
Well, that settles it. Now push off. We're heading back.
Nothing doing, Chief. There's something mighty queer aboard that barge, and I'm going to find out what it is.
Wait a minute, Clark. I'm coming along.
Yeah, me too.
Nothing doing. You stay here.
Oh, gosh, Mr. White.
We'll be right back, Jim. Come on, Lois. Stick close. Be careful here, Lois.
Okay. Feels like we're walking on velvet. Clark.
What?
We are walking on velvet. Thick red velvet.
Shh, keep your voice down. That light is beginning to flicker again.
Oh,
Okay, now it's quiet. Look. Look, there's the girl, stretched out on a satin couch.
Clark. Why, she's beautiful.
Yes. You stay here, Lois. I'm going to see if she's alive. The bird may fly at us again. If he does, fall flat on your face.
All right, but be careful.
I will.
Is she alive, Clark?
Well, her hands are cold.
Can you feel any pulse?
No. No, and I can't tell whether she's breathing or not.
Wait a minute. I think I have a mirror in my pocket.
All right, stay where you are. I'll come and get it.
Here.
All right, thanks.
Of course, I don't see how you can see her breath on the mirror if there's no pulse.
We'll see.
Hey, what's keeping you over there?
Tell him we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, Chief. Any breath on the mirror, Clark?
It's hard to tell. We better go back to the boat. Come on.
I don't think the bird wants us to leave the barge.
We're not leaving it. We're towing it in with us.
Well, that seems silly. Why not just take the girl?
Because, Lois, there's something queer about this whole setup. Listen. On the mast right above that girl's head, I saw a gold plate. And on it was engraved, the good ship Illyria, built in the year of our Lord, 1202.
1202?
Yes.
Clark, what are you talking about?
I know it sounds strange, but...
And Miss Lane.
It's all right, Jim. We're coming back now.
Here, take my hand, Miss Lane.
Thanks, Jim.
Here, Jim. Take this rope from the barge and tie it fast to the stern cleat, please.
Sure thing.
Well, so you're finally back. What'd you find?
Tell you in a minute, Chief.
Let's make for port in a hurry.
Go ahead. Start giving me orders. Don't tell me anything. Just give me orders.
Don't be that way, Chief.
Okay, she's tied fast, Mr. Kent.
Good,
What's
Jim.
tied fast?
The barge. We're towing her in.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
What do you think I'm running, a tug?
Please, Chief, we haven't much
No,
time.
that's too bad. I'm not ruining my boat towing barges around. Let the Coast Guard tow it in.
Now, look, Chief, if that girl's alive, she won't stay that way much longer.
Oh, all right. That's my trouble, a soft heart. I should have put my foot down in the first place.
Let's see.
Hey, what are you doing with that radio?
Contacting the Coast Guard. I want them to have a doctor standing by when we come in. Marauder to Coast Guard. Marauder to Coast Guard.
Gaily painted barge bearing the seemingly lifeless figure of a mysterious girl and a curious bird that glows in the dark is now tied up at the municipal dock of a Florida fishing port. Mary White, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen look on anxiously as the doctor, summoned by the Coast Guard, examines the girl.
My stethoscope, please, young man.
Yes, sir, right here.
Thank you.
Any heartbeat at all, Doctor?
Just a trace, Mr. Kent.
Well, at least she's alive.
Alive, yes. Where did I put my flash?
This one, sir?
The pinpoint light? Yes, that's it, thank you. Let me see.
What's he looking at her eyes for, Mr. Kent?
Hush, Jim.
It's very strange. Very strange indeed. Look here, Mr. White.
What is it?
Watch the pupils of her eyes. See what happens when I put the light on them.
Gosh, they get bigger and bigger.
That's right.
Well, isn't that unusual, Doctor? Don't the pupils contract? Get smaller under light?
Either that or they show no reaction at all. I don't quite understand this.
Could she possibly be suffering from some form of sleeping sickness?
I doubt it, Mr. Kent.
What else could it be?
I'm afraid there's very little I can tell you, Mr. Kent. Miss Lane.
Well, at least she's not dead.
No, but she's in a peculiar state of unconsciousness, the like of which I have never seen nor heard of in all my 20 years of medical practice. And I believe that unless she's awakened within the next few hours, she'll die. What's that?
That's the bird that was with her on the boat. It seems to understand what you're saying. It's uncanny.
It makes chills run up and down my spine. Isn't there anything we can do, Doctor? Hadn't we better get her to a hospital as soon as possible?
Unfortunately, the nearest hospital is 60 miles from here. In her condition, I don't think she should be moved that far.
Well, we could probably make her comfortable at the hotel, Lois. I'll run over to the Coast Guard office and get the keys to Mr. White's car. He's there with Jimmy, giving them a report.
Oh, that won't be necessary, Mr. Kent. I can drop you off.
Oh.
I've taken a sample of her blood. I think I'll spend the next few hours at the hospital laboratory making some tests in an effort to solve this thing. Your hotel is on the way.
That'll be fine, Doctor. Thank you.
If you'll take my bag, Miss Lane, I'll help Mr. Kent carry it.
Oh,
to the
yes,
car.
Doctor,
Oh,
certainly.
I can manage alone. She's not very heavy. There we are. Light as a feather.
Clark, be careful. The bird is liable to attack you.
Oh, I don't think so.
Strange how he resents it the moment anyone touches the girl.
Yes, you go on ahead, Lois. Open the car door.
What about the bird?
Chances are he'll follow us. Go ahead.
Clark, look out!
Oh, good Lord.
What happened?
It's all right. It's all right. Just flew down and landed on her shoulder.
It's almost human the way he refuses to be separated from her. I don't understand
I
it.
think he realizes we're friendly. Get the car door open, Lois. We have no time to waste.
What time is it, Clark?
6:30.
I suppose all we can do is sit and wait. Almost like a death watch. Oh, incidentally, the chief and Jimmy don't know we're at the hotel. What about that?
They'll find us.
What's the answer to all this, Clark?
Oh, golly, if I knew, Lois, we wouldn't be sitting here with an unconscious girl stretched out on the bed and a strange bird perched at the foot of it, guarding her.
Well, at least we solved one mystery.
What's that?
We learned that the bird glows only in the dark.
Oh,
He's about the size of a crow, isn't he?
a little smaller, I'd say. Deep red, except for the 2 yellow spots on either side of his bill.
There goes that mournful whistle again.
Yeah.
It keeps repeating it over and over.
Every 2 or 3 minutes. Almost as though he were trying to tell us something.
Oh, now, look, Clark, don't make things any worse than they are. All we need to drive us completely out of our minds is a talking bird. Oh, I meant to ask you. What about that business of the barge being built in 1202?
I don't know. That's what it said on the nameplate. The good ship Illyria, built in the year of our Lord, 1202.
Well, that's impossible. Let's see, 1202, that would make it 700...
746 years ago.
46 years ago. Isn't that ridiculous?
Hardly seems likely, but... Wait.
What's the matter?
She seems to be getting paler, Lois.
Oh, no.
Quick, feel her hands.
They're hot and dry. Clark, she's dying.
Take it easy now. Don't get panicky.
Yes, but we're so helpless. There's nothing we can do.
Oh, that must be the doctor. I'll take it. Hello?
Mr. Kent?
Yes, doctor.
Oh, thank
I'm at
you.
the hospital laboratory.
Yes?
We've made a few tests, but haven't found anything yet.
Oh.
Has there been any change?
Why, yes. She seems to be getting paler, and her hands are hot and dry.
Oh, I was afraid of that. She's dehydrating.
Beg your pardon?
She's dehydrating. Her body is losing water, drying up.
Oh.
What do you say, Clark?
Just a minute, Lois.
You see, Mr. Kent, once the body dries out, well, that's the end.
I see. Well, isn't there any way of preventing that?
Only with the proper equipment.
I've always been under the impression, Doctor, that human beings could go without food and water for days and
They
weeks.
can go without food, but not water.
Oh, well, what would you suggest?
I have some pills here at the laboratory that would at least temporarily stop the dehydration, but there's no way of getting them to you in time.
Well, now, perhaps I could arrange to have them picked up.
How?
I don't know at the moment, but where is the laboratory?
It's a two-story gray building adjoining the hospital here in Palm City. It's 60 miles from where you are.
I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, can we try feeding her some water?
I doubt whether she'll swallow it, but there's no harm trying.
Very well, Doctor. Thank you.
I'll call you again if the tests we're making turn up anything.
Right.
Well, what is it?
We've got to work fast,
Well,
Lois.
I know that, but what do we do?
Get a handkerchief or a towel or something, wet it, and put it against her mouth.
What in the world is that for?
Never mind, just do it.
Where are you going?
Got to find an eyedropper somewhere. I'll be right back. Lock the door behind me. 60 miles to Palm City. That's not too bad, but I've got to work fast. Out of these clothes. Only a few minutes to get those pills from the hospital laboratory. As Superman. There's a window at the end of the hall. Now, up with it. Out and away!
Up through the night sky travels Superman, swifter than a rocket, his red cape streaming in the wind. Faster almost than the speed of light, he streaks over the quiet seaside. Soon he leaves the ocean shore behind him and approaches the inland city where the hospital laboratory is located. His amazingly keen eyes peer down, trying to locate the building he is looking for. For a moment he hesitates. Then he swoops toward one building. Then another.
There it is. Two-story gray building. I see the laboratory on the top floor. Down to a window ledge. Down! There we are. Now up to the window.
What in heaven's name? What do you mean breaking in like this?
I'm sorry.
Oh, right, Superman.
Forgive me if I startled you, Doctor, but I had to get in as quickly as possible.
Well, what is it you want?
Some medicine. Pills, I think. Clark Kent said...
Yes, of course. I have them right here.
Good.
There you are.
Thank you.
The directions are on the bottle.
Good. Now, I'll leave the way I came, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course not.
Thank you again, Doctor.
Don't mention it. I only hope they work.
I hope so, too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Out and away!
Who is it?
It's Clark. Open up, Lois. I've got the pills, Lois. Now we can... What? What's the matter?
Clark. She's dead.
I can't believe it, Lois. I've only been gone a few minutes.
It happened just after you left. Oh, Clark.
How did you find out?
I decided to take her pulse to see if she was any weaker. And her pulse had stopped completely.
Here, let me try it.
It's no use, Clark.
Oh, you're wrong. It's still beating, very faintly.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well,
Wait, Scott, I forgot about the pills. Here, put one on her tongue.
where did you get them?
Never mind that now. Hurry. Say, that's strange.
What?
When the bird started to sing, her pulse became much stronger. Now that he stopped, the pulse is weaker again.
Really, Clark, now you're going too far. It's probably only the pill working.
Well, maybe, but I've had a feeling all along that bird's peculiar song has something to do with the mystery of her sleep, and now I'm certain of it.
Now, wait a
I'm
minute.
sure there must be some connection between the song that bird sings and her awakening. don't know what it is any more than you do.
Well, now that you've gotten that bright idea, what do you intend to do about it?
I have an idea, Lois. Do you remember Kogal?
Kogal? No. Who's he?
You remember the man who helped us decode that musical spy message?
Oh, yes, I do. The Hungarian musician who teaches at the Metropolis Conservatory.
That's right.
But what good can he do as he's in Metropolis and we're in Florida?
I'm going to call him on the telephone. You keep an eye on the girl and keep those pills on her tongue. Hello? Operator? Operator?
Your order, please.
Oh, I'd like to put through a long-distance call to Metropolis, person to person, to Stefan Kogal, Kogal, Park Boulevard, Metropolis. And, operator, will you make it as fast as you can, please?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Kogal.
Yes, who is this?
Clark Kent of the Daily Planet.
Why, hello, Kent.
Hello.
It's a long time since I've heard from you.
Yes, I know, Kogal. I need your help once more.
It's fine, fine. What is it this time? Another enemy message written in music?
No, Kogal. This time I'm afraid it's even tougher than that.
I like problems.
Good.
The tougher the better.
Well, listen to this one. I'm calling from a hotel room in Florida. There's a girl here in the room in a deep sleep. She's dying, and no one can awaken her. She has a bird with her who sings a strange, unfinished tune. Now, I'm just taking a wild chance that this tune, the whole tune, is the key to her awakening.
I see. And you think I can help you get the completed song?
That's right. Now, listen. I'll whistle the tune for you over the telephone.
All right. Go ahead. Is that all?
That's all.
Well, it isn't much, but offhand, I'd say it sounds like a 12th or 13th century melody.
You're on the right track, Kogal. Do you know the name of it or where I can get a copy?
If only Horace Pinder was there.
Horace Pinder? Who's he?
He's a friend of mine. Horace Pinder is a friend of mine. He is an expert in medieval music, but he's been ill. For the past 20 years, he's lived in Arizona.
Does he have a telephone?
No, he hasn't.
No?
He lives by himself in a small white house in the hills near Tucson in Arizona.
I see.
He's become pretty much of a hermit. You see, he's very old.
Well, I'm going to try to contact him anyway, Kogal. It's our only chance. Meanwhile, if you hit on anything, will you let me know?
Yes.
You can reach me at Pine 621 at Sands Point, Florida.
Pine 621,
Right.
Sands Point, Florida.
That's right.
I'll do my best, Kent. You can be sure of that.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, I told you it wouldn't work. Somehow you managed to find more blank walls to hit your head against, Clark.
We've gone through blank walls before, Lois.
How are you going to get through this one?
I'll wire Horace Pinder. You sit tight, and don't forget, lock this door. Now, out of these clothes. This time I've really got to work against odds. Small white house in the hills near Tucson. Well, if anyone can find it, Superman can. Now, up with this window again. Out and
And so, once more, within the space of an hour, Superman wings through the inky night. He knows he is fighting not only against time, but against the very forces of life and death. Faster than a thunderbolt, he hurtles through space, red cloak streaming behind him. Then, soon after...
This must be where I can find the little white house. Not far from Tucson, Kogal said. Well, there are a few houses, but no, Kogal said it stands alone. Oh, wait a minute. That must be it. Down! Down! No time to knock. I'll just try the door. Good, it's open. There's an old man sitting in a room at the end of the hall. That must be Horace Pinder.
Who is there?
It's Superman, Mr. Pinder.
Superman?
Yes.
This is a surprise.
Well, I must say you're not nearly as startled as most people who see me appearing out of nowhere.
Well, my boy, I hope you don't mind my calling you my boy.
Oh.
I'm really much older than you are.
You go right ahead.
You see, when you live alone in the hills this way, with only your thoughts for company, you spend many an hour imagining things. I've read of you, and often the time I've wished I could be so strong and help people the way you do.
Well, Mr. Pinder, now you can help someone. That's why I'm here.
Really, I don't quite understand.
I'll explain everything en route. I see a number of musical instruments around. Perhaps we'd better take one with us. Let's see. That flute. Do you play that?
Yes, of course.
All right. You ready to go with me?
Go with you?
Yes.
You mean fly with you?
Oh, it's perfectly safe, I assure you.
But I'm not the least bit worried. In fact, I'm thrilled.
Good.
What are we waiting for?
Oh, wonderful. You go under my cape. Like this.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for all the money in the world.
Then out this garden window. So. And up, and away!
Just when we want to hear it, he won't sing.
Patience, Miss Lane.
There. He's starting.
Quiet.
That's it, Mr. Pender. The melody he's been singing all along. Does it mean anything to you?
Kogal was right. It is undoubtedly part of a 12th or 13th century litany.
Yes, the trouble is the bird stops short. He doesn't finish it. If you can somehow conclude that melody, Mr. Pinder, Clark Kent thinks it may have an effect on the girl.
I will try.
But we've got to hurry. It's been almost 2 hours since we brought her here.
That's right.
And the doctor said unless you regain consciousness in 2
Just
hours...
let me take my flute out of its case.
There may be only minutes left.
Are you ready, Mr. Pinder?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good.
Now, let us see what we can...
As I get the story, Mr. White, you and Miss Lane and Mr. Kent and the boy here were on your boat, the Marauder, 2 miles off the Sands Point Inlet, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, go on from there.
Well, Kent noticed something on the horizon and insisted that we investigate.
No, Mr. White, it was Miss Lane. Don't you remember?
Olson, if you open your mouth again,
But, Mr. White,
All right, who spotted the barge first?
No, I don't remember. Might have been Lois who saw it first, but anyway, it was Kent who insisted on investigating.
I see. So Kent was particularly anxious, was he?
Of course. He was anxious to find out what it was. He's a newspaper man, and a darn good one.
What about you? You're a newspaper man.
Well, what of it?
You weren't anxious to investigate it. You said so yourself. You fought against it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say I exactly fought against it.
Oh, sure you did, Chief. Don't you remember? You...
For the last time, be quiet!
Weeping lizard.
Now, let's get one thing straight. Did you agree about the investigation, or didn't you?
Well, it's true. At first, I was skeptical. But then Kent convinced me.
Uh-huh. And he was also the one who noticed that the barge was built in the year 1202. Funny, isn't it, that no one else saw that before he pointed it out?
I don't see anything funny about it.
Then I'll tell you. Reporters have a habit of dreaming up stories like this one.
Are you implying that Kent manufactured this whole thing?
Could be.
Well, all I can say is you'd better be careful about any insinuations you make against my reporters or me. I've still got some influence in Washington.
Hold it a
and
minute. Hold it. Ryan talking.
That report on the barge, Chief, it just arrived.
Shoot it in here fast.
Okay.
No, so the reports come in. That's fine. Now you'll see that Kent was right. The barge must have been built in 1202.
We'll see, Mr. White. We'll see.
Here you are, Chief.
Oh, thanks, Eddie.
Yes, sir.
Is there only one copy of that report, or can I read it too?
It's only one copy.
What does it say?
I'll tell you in a minute, son.
I'll bet a month's salary it says Mr. Kent is right.
As a matter of fact, son, it does.
Ah.
Of course.
The samples of the wood, according to this report, show it was built in the early 1100s.
You mean it's been in the water all this time?
Oh, don't be silly. Let's see. It says here, no barnacles or moss present, probably not in water more than 7 or 8 days.
Oh, where's it been all this time, then?
That's what I'd like to know.
Is there any further information given in the report?
Only that a type of growth was found attached to the sides and bottom of the boat which is not present in the waters along this coast, but which is quite typical of tropical sea vegetation.
Well, that certainly makes the whole thing a lot clearer.
Well, don't worry. We'll clear it up before we're through.
Well, there's nothing more we can tell you. Come along, Jim. We're leaving.
Not so fast, Mr. White. You'll have to stick around a while.
What? Me too, Captain?
No, you run along, son. We'll call you if we want you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you back at the hotel, Chief, in a little while. I hope.
Leaving the Coast Guard office, Jimmy hurries to the dock where the mysterious barge is moored, but learns from a watchman that Clark Kent and Lois Lane have taken the sleeping girl to their hotel. Meanwhile, in the hotel room, Horace Pinder, the elderly musician, is developing the bird's melody on his flute as Lois and Superman look on.
Mr. Pinder, that's wonderful. She's moved both her arms now.
Yes, it's truly remarkable. I have always known that music enriches life, but I have never seen it actually give life back before.
Well, now that you've come this far, getting the rest of the song shouldn't be too difficult.
I think not. The really difficult part was getting the right key and tonal scale.
Well, then, I think my work here is done.
Well, goodbye, Superman.
Bye.
You have made me very happy, giving me the opportunity to be of help.
I was glad to do it, Mr. Pinder.
Oh, Superman.
Yes, Miss Lane.
Would you try to locate Clark Kent, please? I know he'd want to be here now.
Oh, well, yes, I certainly will. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Kent.
Oh, hello, Jim. Where you been all this time?
At the Coast Guard office.
We better get inside, Jim. Let's see what's happening.
Hey.
Clark, oh, I'm so glad you're back. And Jimmy.
Hi, Miss Lane.
Where have you been, Jim?
He's been at the Coast Guard office all this time, but I was just going to ask you, Jim, where's Mr. White?
Oh, they kept him down there. They wouldn't let him come with me.
Why not?
I don't know.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Pinder, this is Clark Kent. You know Clark, the man Mr. Kogal told you about.
Oh, how do you do, sir? But I thought you lived in Arizona.
I do, indeed I do. But I had the pleasure of flying here with Superman.
Superman? Was he here? Oh, excuse me. I'm Jim Olsen.
I'm happy to meet you. Yes, Superman was here. I can vouch for that myself.
I had to miss him. Shucks.
Clark.
Yes, Lois?
I want to apologize. You were right. The strange melody the bird keeps singing does have something to do with waking her up.
Then it's really working?
Indeed it is. It is almost a miracle.
Hey, what are you all talking about? Won't somebody let me in on it?
We'll show you in a minute, Jim. Remember how the doctor couldn't wake the girl up?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Well, just watch her now when Mr. Pinder plays on his flute.
Yes. Just you watch her.
Almost transfixed, Lois, Jimmy, and Clark Kent watched the sleeping girl's head move slowly from side to side as the melodious notes of the flute filled the room.
Gosh, she moved. She really did.
Yes, her head and her arms. Did you notice that, Mr. Pinder?
Yes, I did.
Try it again, Mr. Pinder.
Very well.
That did it.
Did you notice? She kept wetting her lips with her tongue. That means her sense of taste is now awake again.
Well, what happens next, Mr. Kent?
I've practically completed the melody, you know, Mr. Kent.
Then it should work out just right.
Well, let's not talk anymore. Let's get it over with. I can't wait to find out who she is.
Well, neither can I.
We better all be still now while Mr. Pinder plays.
That would be best, I think. The first sound she hears consciously should probably be the music.
Her eyelids are quivering.
They're opening. Her eyes are opening.
She's awake. Gosh, she's awake.
It is a miracle.
Wait a minute. She's trying to say something.
With a heart thou.
Nakoma. With a heart thou. Nakoma. Thou art safe and well. It does my heart good to see thee.
She doesn't even realize we're here.
I know. That bird has all her attention.
Voices. I hear human voice.
Don't be frightened.
Who art thou? Why dost thou surround me?
Weeping lizards. She talks like something out of an old book.
What saith the stripling? I do not understand. The words are strange. Nakoma, where hast thou led me?
Clark, you'd better tell her. She's terribly upset.
Yes, you must not become nervous or excited. You are among friends.
The words thou speakest. You? You? I do not understand the meaning of you.
Oh, it means the same as thou or thee.
The same as thou or thee?
Yes.
You? It is strange. Strange, too, is this place I find myself. Why do I not see the endless sky above me?
You're in a room in a hotel.
Tell?
Don't bother with all that now, Clark. Find out who she is.
The damsel's voice. It is warm and soothing. I recognize her in a friend.
I am a friend. Perhaps you can tell us your name.
Yea, I am called Rev Peyton. And this, my faithful bird, I call Nakoma.
Rev Peyton. That's a lovely name.
It was given me by my mother. It is made up of many things. Reverence, patience, and tenderness. Rev Peyton. Thou seest?
Yes.
Kindly aged man, why doth he remain silent?
Mr. Pinder?
I am silent, child, only because I realize I'm in the presence of a miracle. I have lived many years and seen many things, but nothing that has so stirred me.
Thy voice, gentle and ripe with wisdom, brings visions of my counselor and friend, Hercules.
Gosh, you know what, Mr. Kent?
What, Jim?
Rev Peyton talks the way they talk in William Shakespeare's plays. You know, The Merchant of Venice and The Tempest.
That's right. Tell us, Rev Peyton, where do you come from? Where were you born?
In the fair land of Illyria.
Illyria? Oh, that's the name of the barge.
Yea. Long since it were the king's barge.
Well, what we'd like to know, Rev Peyton, is how you happened to be on the barge. Who put you there?
It is a tedious and not too pleasant to chronicle. And I would not burden thee with... wait. I would not burden you with it. That is right?
Yes, that's perfect. But you won't be burdening us at all, Rev Peyton. We're overcome with curiosity. Why, even Jim, the stripling, can't contain himself.
Hey, once and for all, what's a stripling?
Jim,
Nothing you have to worry about, Jim. It means a young man.
Oh, that's okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, Mr. Pinder.
Perhaps Rev Peyton is too tired to tell her story now. She has gone through quite an ordeal, you know.
You're probably right. Suppose we leave you alone for a while, Rev Peyton.
No. There is so much I wish to ask of thee.
Well...
of you.
We've lots of time for that. As a matter of fact, Clark, you better call the doctor.
Great Scott, I forgot about that.
He may want us to give us some food or water.
You can call him from my room. We'll leave you alone for a few minutes, Rev Peyton. Just rest and get some strength back. If you need us, call out. We'll be right in the next room.
Thy names.
Huh?
I do not know thy names.
Oh, that's right, you don't. The young lady is Lois Lane.
Lois Lane.
That's right.
It is as the soft murmuring of a mountain brook. Lois Lane.
Uh-huh. And this is Mr. Pinder, the musician who awakened you.
Awakened me?
Hmm?
Did not Nakoma awaken me?
Oh, well, we'll tell you about that later. Now, this stripling's name is Jimmy Olsen.
I'm glad to meet you, Rev Peyton.
My name is Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
That's right.
I trust I shall remember.
Now we leave you just for a while, but if you should need us, call.
So be it.
Come, Jim. Mr. Pinder.
I will await thy return with great expectation.
Don't worry, we'll be back.
Oh, she's simply delightful, Clark. I'm mad about her.
Yeah, she's swell. There's only one thing I don't understand.
Oh, there are a lot of things we don't understand yet. Now, here we are. Lois?
Thanks.
Mr. Pinder?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jim.
The first thing you'd better do, Clark, is call the doctor and tell him what happened.
Well, suppose you get him on the phone for me, Jim.
Okay, what's the number?
He's at the Everglades Hospital in Palm City. His name is Avery, Dr. Avery. They'll probably find him in the laboratory.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, what do you make of it, Clark?
Frankly, nothing at the moment. What do you think, Mr. Pinder?
I am both puzzled and fascinated. As for an answer, I have none.
There's only one possible answer. It's quite evident that she doesn't come from a 20th century civilization.
Now, if you're going to tell us she was born in the 12th century, Clark, you can stop right there.
No, not born in the 12th century, Lois, but raised in a 12th century atmosphere. Remember, she was puzzled about the ceiling of the room.
Well, didn't rooms have ceilings in the 12th century?
Well, yes, but they weren't made of plaster.
Dr. Avery, hold on.
I guess Jim's got the number.
Okay, Mr. Kent.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jim. Hello, Doctor.
Yes, Mr. Kent.
I'm calling to tell you that we awakened the girl.
Did?
Uh-huh.
That's splendid.
She's fully awake now.
How did you manage it?
Well, I'll tell you as briefly as I can. Working on the theory that the bird's peculiar whistle had something to do with the deep sleep she was in, we contacted a musician and had him complete the melody the bird was singing. It was
What did he say, Clark?
We're to give her a quarter of a glass of lukewarm water every hour for the next 4 hours.
No food?
No, not until she's had a full glass of water, and she mustn't get out of bed. You better get in there and start the treatment.
Well, I'll go with you.
Yeah, me too.
No, you'd better stay here, Jim. The doctor said she mustn't have too much excitement. Keep Mr. Pinder company till we get back.
Okay.
Come on, Lois.
Right. How long did the doctor say she'd have to stay in bed?
Oh, just a few days. She's got to get some nourishment first, but in easy stages. Here we are.
Open the door gently. She may be asleep.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is she asleep?
Well, great Scott!
What's the matter?
She's gone.
No.
Yes, the bed's empty. Both she and the bird are gone.
Jim, something terrible has happened.
Mr. Pender's asleep. He was tired, and I got him to stretch out on the bed, and he fell asleep. Close the door.
No, we've got to leave it open.
Why?
The girl, Rev Peyton, is missing.
Missing? What do you mean?
She's not in her room, and neither is the bird. Clark's going to look for them, and he said to leave the door of this room open.
Golly, where'd she go?
Well, now, if I knew, Jim, I wouldn't be standing here talking about it.
But she was weak as a cat. How'd she get out of bed?
I don't know, but I'm afraid
Lois?
that... Who's that?
It's Mr. Kent. He's got Rev Peyton. He's carrying her.
Good heavens.
Now, there's nothing to cry about, Rev Peyton. It's all right. You made a mistake, that's all.
Clark, where did you find her?
At the waterfront. She thought we were angry with her, so she decided to run away and not bother us.
Oh, you poor child. Now, here. Dry your eyes with this handkerchief. And you must promise us never to do anything like that again. We're your friends, Rev Peyton. We want to help you. Promise?
I give thee my word.
That's better. Now, just relax and tell us your story. Where you came from and how you happened to be on that barge floating out at sea. After all, we can't help you unless we know who you are.
I will tell thee gladly. Many long years ago, before my father's time, and yea, before his father's time, a small band of people, fleeing the hardships and oppression that had been visited upon the land of their birth, joined together under a benevolent ruler, and resolved forthwith to seek elsewhere a haven of peace and contentment. And so, on an appointed day, many ships set sail upon the sea, led by the magnificent barge of the king, the Illyria. 90 days and nights the ships sailed on, driven by favorable winds. Finally, land was sighted.
Our pilgrimage is at an end. Here will we rest our weariness, my countrymen. In yonder verdant hills, far removed from the strife of men, shall we find peace. What saith Hercamine, my counselor? Dost agree, O wise one?
Thy judgment, sire, is as always beyond reproach.
Then, so be it.
And so it came to be that the land in which I was born was founded. My people built their homes for peace, for goodwill, for gracious living. Crime was not known to us, nor was slavery, nor any form of injustice from which my people had suffered before they took to their wanderings. But still, they did not feel entirely safe. One day a voice rose above all others in the meeting hall of the Supreme Council.
I propose that we surround ourselves with huge walls and heavy iron-wrought gates. I further propose that these gates be sealed to allow no stranger to enter, and none of us to emerge.
Aye, good idea.
What saith Hercamine to this strange proposal?
Sire, can we not soften this decree? Can we not say that once a year our gates will be opened so that those of our people who wish to stay no longer may leave to wander where they will?
Methinks 'tis a wise suggestion. Is it agreed?
'Tis agreed.
Aye. So be it decreed.
And that decree remained the supreme law of our land. One day, not so many years ago, among the strangers who joined us, there was one who was unlike all the others. His name was Franz. He was of medium height. His hair was thin on his head, and the tones of his voice were harsh and not too pleasant to the ear. But his mind was quick and sharp, and he caught the confidence of many of my countrymen. So much so that at the death of my father, who had ruled well, he became Grand Master of our land. One day, I was sitting in the garden of Hercamine the counselor, when Nakoma came to rest on my shoulder. What hast thou in thy bill, Nakoma? Forsooth, a slip of paper, with writing upon it. And 'tis in a tongue I neither read nor speak. But wait. Herkimer comes, he will know.
Greetings, fair Peyton. How good it is to find thee sunning thyself in my garden.
Look, Herkimer, see what Nakoma has brought to amuse me.
What trifles amuse thee, child? 'Tis naught but a piece of paper.
Nay, it is no mere slip of paper. There's writing upon it. Strange and unknown writing. Look. What says it, Herkimer? What says it?
I cannot tell at this moment, my dear, but I fear it bodes ill, for there is a name affixed to it, a name we both know, belonging to one we do not trust.
Did Herkimer the Wise summon the Grand Master?
In the name of the Princess Peyton, I.
Was it thy will, my princess, that I come?
It was my will.
Then, though I am Grand Master of Illyria, holder of the highest office in the land, I am pleased to await thy pleasure.
Speak, Herkimer.
Mayhap 'tis of no great moment, but the bird of the Princess Peyton found this scrap of paper we know not where. It bears thy name at the bottom of it.
And also, it is writ in a strange tongue, which only the wise man Herkimer can read.
Dost know of what thou accusest me?
We know full well.
Fraught, when the people of Illyria welcomed thee within their gates, thou gavest thy solemn oath never to communicate with the outside world again.
Why art thou telling me this?
Because this note is witness that thou hast formerly and art now continuing to traffic with strangers who live without our gates.
That, as thou knowest, is the highest crime in Illyria.
I am a patient man, Princess of Peyton, and I have hearkened unto thee, knowing full well the debt I owe the people of Illyria. But I am not guilty of the crime of which I stand accused.
Thou accusest someone else in Illyria of inviting a warlike people with their warlike instruments into our fair country.
Is that what was writ on the paper, Herkimer?
Aye, Peyton.
The princess blanches. She grows white.
Yes, who would not? Thou art a traitor, betrayer of the peace-loving people who gave thee sanctuary and bestowed upon thee the highest order of the land.
'Twas not I who broke the laws of communication with the outside.
Whom dost thou accuse, then?
None other than she, who sits pale and trembling before us.
What? Darest thou accuse the Princess Peyton?
Thou darest accuse me of treason? Me, Peyton, oldest daughter of our kingly family? Thou darest?
Aye. Now I, France, Grand Master of Illyria, do accuse the Princess Peyton of treason to her people and to her country. And on this day, at this moment, I, France, condemn the Princess Peyton to death.
You're tired, Princess Peyton. You should rest a little now.
Nay, Sirrah.
My name is Clark Kent, and here in America we say Mr., not Sirrah.
'Tis agreed. And now, shall I proceed with my tale?
Well, do you feel strong enough?
Aye. The faintness has left me. But where did I leave off?
Well, you told us how Nakoma, your bird, had found a strange piece of paper that Herkimer, the High Counselor, suspected was a message to the enemy. Herkimer then accused Franz, the Grand Master. Have I got that right so far?
'Tis perfectly recalled.
Well, there wasn't much more, because when he was accused, Franz turned upon you and condemned you to death for treason.
Aye.
And that's where you stopped. Now, what happened then? How was it that your life was spared? And why were you placed on the open sea to die?
Aye. 'Tis there that my tale grows stranger still.
Oh?
Herkimer, shattered with grief at the pronouncement of the Grand Master, broke all existing rules and demanded a hearing of my case in a special session of the High Council. I was locked away in my chamber while the council gathered to consider the matter.
Order! Order! The assembled company will please come to order. Gentlemen of the council, 'tis only out of reverence for the illustrious name of our princess that today I have permitted the council to gather to hear the evidence in the matter of her plot of treason against Illyria.
Let Herkimer speak. Let us hear the venerated counselor. Does he defend the girl?
Speak, then, Herkimer.
My brothers, what can an old man say to a charge such as this, brought against an innocent girl, nay, a child?
think of the blameless life our princess has lived, and think of the deep love she has awakened in all our hearts.
We speak here not of sentiment, but of facts, Counselor. Thine appeal to our hearts will avail thee not.
I know thee, Franz, for what thou art. I do not appeal to thee for mercy for Ed Peyton, but to those of us who have known her much longer than thou.
Then we shall see how these her older friends cast their votes. So be it. I, Franz, Grand Master of Illyria, do hereby in open council condemn the Princess Rev Patron to death for the crime of treason. Those who vote aye, raise your hands. Clerk, make the count. The hands count 1 and 20, and I cast mine, which maketh 2 and 20.
And all those who wish to say nay, raise their hands.
Old man, thy votes are 1 and 20 against my 2 and 20. The will of the Grand Master is supreme.
And so the die was cast. The council had spoken. Thereafter, no one was permitted to communicate with me until Hercules came bearing the poison cup, which was to put me to sleep forever. I was alone in my locked chamber, alone save for Nakoma, the fateful Nakoma, the unswerving, when suddenly the door opened. Hercules!
My princess.
Thou bearest a cup in thy hand.
Aye, 'tis a bitter cup, a cup of sorrow.
The council hath condemned me.
Aye, Franz convinced them of thy guilt.
And I must die? I must die?
Nay, nay, my child, methinks not so.
I meanest thou, Hercules? What aught can happen now? Thou sayest the council...
Calm thyself, princess, calm thyself. I have a plan. I will not let thee die.
Is it, Hercules? Tell me, what meanest thou to do?
'Tis simple. I shall lull thee to sleep with a strange melody played on my flute. But first call thy bird, Nakoma.
That will I do. Nakoma, Nakoma, here, on my shoulder.
Now speak to him, for the sound of thy command he will never forget.
But what shall I command him?
To hearken to the melody I play, for the same melody which will put thee to sleep will be needed to awaken thee again.
Hearken, Nakoma, unto the melody Hercules plays, and repeat the song forthwith. He remembers well.
Aye, aye. Now he will hear the rest of it. Then will he repeat it thrice over. But first, my child, lie thou still on this couch. Close thine eyes. Let thy limbs grow heavy. Have no fear, for I am beside thee.
So that's how you fell asleep, Rev Peyton.
I, Mr. Kent, so gently was I placed under the tender spell. I felt naught but peace and contentment.
And I suppose that's all you remember. That is, until Mr. Pinder here awoke you with his flute.
Nay, I remember everything.
I don't understand. You said you were asleep.
I was asleep, 'tis true, but the sleep that held me was of a strange nature. I could hear all that transpired about me.
Oh, but you couldn't move or see or speak. Is that it?
Aye. But let me go on with my story. My people were already preparing my strange burial craft. It was the royal barge on which they had first sailed to Illyria. The movements and voices around me seemed far, far off, as in a dream from which I did not awaken.
Bow thy heads, my countrymen, for if Peyton is dead,
Reverence, patience, and tenderness in Illyria is dead. Place her now upon the red-draped bier. Now, all who desire to say a last farewell to their princess, step forward.
Cease! Have done! First, I will make certain that my will has been done, that life is gone from her.
Dost thou suspect me of duplicity?
Aye, old man, thrice over. And I warn thee, if the princess be not dead, if thou hast tried to foil me once again, 'twill go well neither with her, nor with thee.
I can almost feel the breath of the evil Franz upon me. Never will I forget the dread in my heart as I heard him approach the barge. Had he discovered that still I lived, would have meant not only my own doom, but that of Herkimer as well.
You needn't be afraid anymore. You're well protected now, and Franz is very far away.
It is strange, but I feel him nigh even at this moment. Even as thou speakest, I feel him close to me. I am afraid.
Oh, please don't worry, Rev Peyton. Just go on with your story. If you tell us what really happened, these strange fears may pass away.
I am grateful for thy endeavors to calm my distraught mind. I shall tell thee further.
Fine. Now, let's see, where were we? You had already been placed on the barge in the ocean, is that right?
Aye.
And then just as the barge was about to be cast off, Franz appeared in order to find out whether you were really dead.
That was when this terrible dread filled my heart.
Mm-hmm. But he never did discover that Herkimer had foiled him.
Nay, it was a miracle that saved me.
Miracle, you say?
Aye. It is hard to believe, I know. But list to the miracle of miracles which then transpired. Franz approached the barge as it was about to be cast off, and as my friends were mourning me.
Stand thou out of my path, Herkimer, or I shall strike thee down.
Here will I stand, Franz, rooted to this very spot, until thou departest. Thou wilt use neither me nor the princess so shamefully, while there is still justice in Illyria.
I would not strike thee, old man. Out of my way, I say.
The clouds are gathering, Franz. Beware!
What care I for the clouds in the heavens? Let me pass.
Depart forthwith, or I shall summon thunder to deafen thee, and lightning to blind thee.
Cease thy stupid mumbling.
It's thunder! Lightning! The sea! Look at the sea!
Hold! I withdraw her to me! 'Twas not my intention to stir the wrath of the gods. Cast her off! Cast off the barge, lest the gods punish us!
Aye, cast her off! Release the barge from her mooring!
I cannot tell thee, my friend, how this miracle was performed. But this I know, that only by that miracle was I saved. From the moment the barge had been cast off from shore, the rumble of thunder and the flashes of lightning disappeared.
It's remarkable. Tell me, Rev Peyton, have you any idea how long you were on the ocean?
Nay, Sirrah. Days and nights passed me by without my taking notice. I seemed to have lost all sense of time.
Seems to me Herkimer was taking quite a chance. I mean, if we hadn't found you, you might have died.
Aye, 'tis true. But there was naught else we could do.
No, I suppose not. Do you feel strong enough to go on, Rev Peyton?
Aye, but there is little more to tell. It was strange to be there on that barge. Imagine it to thyself. Thou listenest to the lapping of the waters, but canst not tell whence it cometh, or whither it goeth. But this embodied spirit was I, little more. Once in every while I passed a tiny island. This I knew by the stirring of trees and grasses. At one time, the barge was rocked by tender breezes. At another, we were caught as in a snare by the heavy winds and rolling sea. And all the while, poor Nakoma tried over and over again his pitiful little tune. My heart cried out to him, but he could not hear. I wished so to live, but to move was beyond me. We were two hapless creatures cast out upon the sea, defenseless and alone. But though Nakoma forgot my song, he never left my side, but nestled in the folds of my robe, close by my arm. And there he stayed until one moment, not very long ago, we heard a fearful sound. This time, as if the roar of millions of birds. It was darkening, and Nakoma flew to his perch on the masthead. How was he to protect me now? Closer and closer the roar came. As for the rest of my tale, my friends, thou knowest this as well as I, for that roar was made by thine own craft.
Oh, you mean the motor of our boat frightened you?
Aye.
Oh.
For it was a sound neither Nakoma nor I had ever heard before in our lives.
Well, Nakoma meant to fight. We can vouch for that. He almost scared us to death when he attacked us.
Truly, we beg thy forgiveness.
Oh, no, not at all. We're very grateful to Nakoma. If it hadn't been for the glow he gives off in the dark, we would never have found you.
'Tis well I know. My life was saved by my bird.
Say, by the way, Rev Peyton, at the beginning of your story, you told us that Nakoma had flown away with the note Franz had written.
Aye. He picked it off the table with his beak and forthwith flew out of Hercules' study.
Well, do you happen to know what he did with it?
Nay, I'd forgotten all about it.
Oh. Well, since he seems to understand you, perhaps you can ask him. Perhaps he's hidden it somewhere.
I will try. Nakoma, fly to my shoulder. Nakoma, think well. Rememberest thou the slip of paper thou once didst bring to me? Didst thou hide it? Good bird, sweet bird, tell thy Rev Peyton. Didst thou hide it in Illyria? Not in Illyria? Then whither didst thou carry it? Unto the border, mayhap. Good and faithful Nakoma.
Does that mean yes?
Aye, on the barge is the paper to be found.
Then tell him to fetch it, Rev Peyton, quickly. It may be very important.
Nakoma, go thou and seek out from its hiding place the slip of paper. When thou hast found it, bring it forthwith to me.
Wait a minute. I'll open the window for him.
Go, Nakoma, go. Nakoma, he returneth.
Yes, I can see him now. He's got something in his bill.
Rest thou on my shoulder, Nakoma.
He's got the note. Here, wait, I'll take it from him.
Nakoma, why dost thou fly away? Thou shouldst know by this time, Sirrah Kent means no harm. Back to my shoulder. Prithee, Sirrah, take thou the note.
All right. Yeah, I've got it. What? Great Scott!
Thou palest, Sirrah. What disturbeth thee?
Wait, it's incredible. If I didn't see this with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. Great Scott.
What's the matter, Clark? Gosh, Mr. Kent, you're white as a ghost.
But it's unbelievable.
It's the very note Nakoma first found in Illyria. That I swear to thee, Mr. Kent.
Oh, sure it is, Rev Peyton. That isn't what I meant.
Well, what do you mean?
Lois, do you know what language this note is written in?
No, what?
It's in German.
German?
Well, let me see it.
Here. It's German. There's no question about it.
You're right. That means France was German.
Well, you can read German, can't you, Miss Lane?
Well, after a fashion, Jim.
Well, see if you can't translate the note, will you? In the meantime, Rev Peyton, will you describe Franz for us again?
What meanest thou describe?
Well, tell us again how he looked, how he spoke. You know, just what he was like.
Oh, 'tis not difficult for me to do. He standeth before mine eyes always as an evil spirit haunting me.
Try to forget about that now. What did he look like?
Oh, leave her alone, Clark. What difference does it make what he looked like?
It may make a lot of difference. I've got an idea.
Well, there you go, building mountains out of molehills again.
Look, you translate the note, Lois. Let me handle this. Go ahead, Rev Peyton. Describe Franz for me, please.
He was of medium height, with thin hair of a sandy color.
Uh-huh.
His eyes were small and pale. They were without warmth.
That's fine. Now, as I recall, you said something about his voice.
She said it was harsh and unpleasant.
Aye, that it was. And with a curious accent.
Could you imitate his speech, Rev Peyton?
Nay, Mr. Kent, I could not.
You think you'd recognize it if you heard it? At least the accent?
Aye, that perhaps.
All right, let's try it. I'm going to ask Jimmy to say something in a German accent. Now, you listen closely and tell me whether it sounds at all like Franz. Okay, Jim, go ahead.
Well, what'll I say?
Huh? Oh, well, let's see. Say, I am Franz, Grand Master of Illyria, and my word is law.
I am Franz, Grand Master of Illyria, and my word is law. Okay. I am Franz, Grand Master of Illyria, and my word is law. How's that?
Of course, Jimmy's younger, but how does that sound? Does that sound familiar, Rev Peyton?
Aye. 'Tis almost as though Franz might have spoken it.
Good. Any luck on the translation, Lois?
Well, not quite, but I'll have it soon.
Please hurry.
Well, Clark, here it is. This isn't exact, but it's the sense of it.
Okay.
42 days from now, the gates of Illyria will be thrown open. I think that's what it means. Plan to enter at that time.
All right, now, let's see what we've got. We know Franz is a German. We know he came to Illyria a couple of years ago, probably soon after the war ended.
How do we know that?
From what Rev Peyton has told us.
But, Clark, we don't even know where Illyria is.
No, but we know it's a hidden city, right?
Right. Great. So what?
Well, so that means nobody knows about it.
Well, obviously, but where does that get us?
Well, it has to be on this continent. Probably in either Central or South America.
How do you figure that out?
Look, according to the doctor who examined Rev Peyton, she couldn't possibly have been afloat on the barge more than 10 days without food and water.
Yes.
All right. We found the barge about 5 miles off the southern tip of Florida. So, wherever it came from had to be within 10 days' drifting distance from Illyria. That would put it somewhere along the coast of Central or South America.
Well, I'm all mixed up.
You follow me, Lois?
Well, yes, I think so, but granted that's true. How did Franz, the German, learn about Illyria?
We'll probably never know that. Somehow he did, soon after the end of the war.
Pretty, Mr. Kent. May I ask something?
Sure, Rev Peyton. What is it?
Thou spoke a word with which I'm not familiar a moment back.
What word?
Oh, I disremember now. Thou spoke of something at an end.
Oh, the war.
Huh?
You said after the end of the war, Mr. Kent.
Oh.
Aye, that is it. War. What means that word?
Gosh, you see, Lois? See how well Illyria was hidden, cut off from the rest of the world? She doesn't even know what war means.
I wish I didn't.
What means it, Mr. Kent?
Well, it means fighting between people of different countries.
Oh, it is a game, perhaps?
Some game.
No, Rev Peyton. It's not a game. It's a brutal, inhuman thing during which men on one side take the lives of men on the other. The war we're talking about ended only a few years ago, just before Franz came to your Illyria. He belonged to one of the countries fighting the war, a country called Germany.
Why did he come to Illyria? Why did he not go back to his own country?
Well, he may have been trapped in Central or South America when the war ended. Perhaps he was a spy. We can even assume he escaped into the hills and just happened to stumble on Illyria at the time of the year when, as you told us, the gates were thrown open.
Oh, brother, if ever you decide to give up newspaper work, Clark.
Yes?
You can always make a living writing adventure stories.
Now, look, Lois, I'm only
Trapped in Central America, a spy, escaped into the hills,
I'm just...
stumbled on Illyria. What an imagination.
Well, it sounds good to me.
Thanks, Jim. And as for you, Lois, this may be a lot more than an adventure story. In fact, it may turn out to be the answer to a riddle that has been mystifying the world since V.E. Day.
I don't get it.
You will, if my hunch is right. Jim?
Yes, Mr. Kent?
In my room across the hall on the dresser, you'll find a map of Florida and a map of the islands off the Central American coast. Please get them for me, will you, like a good fellow?
Oh, sure thing.
Now, Rev Peyton, while Jim is getting the map, suppose you try to tell us something about... What's the matter, Jim?
Somebody turned the hall lights off. It's pitch dark out here. Who do you think turned them off, Mr. Kent?
I don't know, Jim, but be careful. Get the maps from my room and come right back.
Okay.
Is Jim afraid of the dark?
Oh, you know he isn't, so why say it?
You look a little jittery yourself.
All the lights were on just a minute ago. Oh, well. Now, let's see, where were we? Yes. You see, we must find out, Rev Peyton, or at least try to find out, where your country is located.
But how can I tell thee, Mr. Kent? I've never been outside the walls of Illyria in all my life.
That's true.
Save when they carried me unconscious to the barge.
Well, now, maybe we can help you. First of all, Illyria must be near a river.
Why, Clark?
Well, Rev Peyton's people wouldn't have settled in a region without water.
Mr. Kent is right. Water flows at the side of our land directly into the sea, some distance away. It was there my barge was placed.
Okay, so we know it's near a river and not too far from the ocean. Now, is it hot or cold in Illyria?
In Illyria, the climate is mostly mild. It is neither too warm nor too cold. But 4 seasons have we, each delightful unto themselves.
No, that doesn't help us much.
I'll say it doesn't.
But there is this to add.
What?
Illyria is high on a plateau, but higher still stretch mountain peaks far above it, and there it is cold, with snow and ice in great abundance. Also, though on our side of the mountain the sun shines warm and bright, On the other side is bleak and dismal, with almost continual rain.
Ah.
Well, now it's more mixed up than ever.
To me it isn't. I'm beginning to see light.
Jeepers.
What's that?
Mr. Kent, somebody's out here.
I'm coming, Jim.
I
Hold him, Jim. I'm coming.
got him in the headlock, Mr. Kent.
Good.
Oh, no,
What's
you
the
don't.
idea? Well, I'll be... Okay, Jim, let him go. Let's see what he has to say.
Let me up, you little nincompoop, you.
Leaping lizard.
Let go.
Mr. White.
Easy, Chief, easy.
Now, wait a minute.
Gee, Mr. White, I didn't know.
Well, don't stand there like a couple of idiots. Help me out.
Oh, sure. Come on, Jim. Help him up. There you are.
Olson, I've taken about all I'm going to take of your nonsense.
Gee, Mr. White, I didn't know it was you.
I don't care what you thought. I don't want to hear another word out of you.
Wait, take it easy, Chief.
Or out of you either. I'm sick of the whole bunch of you.
But look, Chief.
What am I supposed to look at?
All right.
It's so dark here I can hardly see my hand in front of my face.
What's going on out here?
Come on inside, Chief, and sit down and catch your breath.
Well, I'll sit down, but both of you get out of my sight.
Why, Chief, was that you lurking out there?
Yeah, I tackled him in the dark.
Oh, no.
I don't see anything funny about it.
I'm sorry, Chief. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at Clark.
Well, I'm glad that you can laugh. It's more than I can do.
How does your German spy look to you now, Mr. Kent?
That's right. Rub it in.
Now, what are you talking about? I leave you alone for a few hours, and by the time I come back, you've cooked up something new for me to worry about. You've got to stop this, I tell you, right this minute! Hey, who's she?
Oh, excuse me, Chief. We were so excited I forgot to tell you the big news. We finally awakened the girl on the barge, and here she is.
Well, how do you do, young lady?
Greetings, Sarah.
Her name's Rev Peyton.
You be quiet.
Well, I was only trying to help
I
you.
told you to be quiet, and I mean it. I don't want to hear one word out of you.
Gee whiz.
What the young stripling said is true, Sarah. Rev Peyton is my name.
Huh? What is she talking about? I can hardly understand her.
The tongue in which thou speakest is strange to me, too. But I understand thee very well.
That's the way they spoke English in the 13th century, Chief.
Really? Well, she's living in 1948 now, or maybe nobody told her that.
Well, as a matter of fact, we didn't.
What's the matter with all of you? Have you gone completely crazy?
Well, it was like this.
I thought I told you to keep quiet.
Right. Now, if you just take it easy, Chief, I'll try to explain this.
Oh, okay, go ahead. But first, somebody get me a glass of water.
Oh, I'll get it.
Okay, Jim. Well, to get back to the beginning, sometime in the 13th century, Rev Peyton's people founded a new homeland which they shut off from the rest of the world.
Well, why'd they do that?
I don't know. They were sick of wars, I guess. Thought they'd find peace that way.
Well, any fool knows that you can't find peace shutting yourself off from the world.
Well, yes, but...
Here's your water, Mr.
Oh,
White.
no, thanks.
I won't.
Well, anyway, they lived peacefully up until a few years ago when a German named Franz decided that Illyria had something he wanted.
Illyria?
Don't show.
Oh, what's that?
That's the name of the country, Chief.
Sounds something like out of a fairy tale. Go ahead.
Well, there's not much more except that Clark thinks that the greatest mystery the world has ever known is about to be solved.
Oh, he does he? On what do you base that statement, Kent? And what's the mystery?
Now, wait a minute. First of all, it wasn't a statement. I just said it was a hunch.
Now, be truthful, Clark.
Well,
As a matter of fact, when Jimmy shouted that someone was out in the hall, you were all ready to do battle with a Nazi espionage
Well, now, look,
agent until your dangerous character fortunately turned out to be Perry White.
Now, don't bring that up again. My neck feels like it's been broken.
I'm sorry, Chief.
Well, I'll get back to you later. Well, first, now, let me get this straight. Now, you, young lady.
Aye, Sarah?
Gods, I can't get used to this I and Sarah business.
Now, don't you remember, Rev Peyton? I told you we say Mr. here.
Aye, Mr. But what name dost thou give to the funny old gentleman?
Funny old...
This is our boss, Mr. White, Rev Peyton. We work for him.
When you work.
Displeased I am to meet thee. Thou remindest me of one with whom I have spent many happy hours.
Oh, yes, I remind you of somebody in Illyria?
Aye. My playmate Liana had a great bear whom I loved very much.
That's enough out of all of you. Either she's a lot simpler than she looks, or you've been putting ideas into her head about me.
Honestly, we haven't even mentioned you, Chief.
Oh, by the way, Chief, where have you been hibernating all this time?
Down at the Coast Guard station with that pipsqueak of a petty officer. I finally put him in his place.
Oh?
Swell.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. Where is this Illyria place?
Well, we don't know yet, but we've got a good idea. So far, Rev Peyton has told us that it's near a river, that it's on a high stretch of land, and that it's on the side of a mountain.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. There are only about 1 million rivers and mountains in the world.
You've got to remember, Chief, she couldn't have been on the water too long, so it must be someplace on this continent. Now then, she went on to say that the climate was mild, but that on the other side of the mountain it rained all the time. That the peaks on the tops of the mountains above Illyria have snow on them. That's right, Rev Peyton, isn't it?
Aye. All that thou sayest is true.
Well, it's still clear as mud to me.
Now, just a minute. Rev Peyton, do you know, are there any volcanoes around Illyria?
Volcanoes?
Yes, volcanoes.
I've heard the word. Hercules once spoke it when he told me of the mountain which spat fire and smoke.
That's it.
So there are volcanoes.
Aye. There's one we can see far off in the distance from Illyria. And truth to tell, Illyria itself is built upon the top of one that has long been dead.
No kidding.
Of course, that would account for the warmth and the fertile soil you told us about. You see, Chief, it's perfectly clear.
Perfectly clear. Are you nuts?
Here we go again. Hail Columbia.
Columbia? Columbia?
What's the matter, Rev Peyton? What startled you?
That word thou spokest. Columbia.
What about it?
It's pressed against my brain. Columbia. Columbia.
Why should Columbia mean anything to you, Rev Peyton? Have you heard it before?
Once, long ago, I heard it spoken. But I cannot remember.
Now, think. Think. It must be important.
Now, Clark, why on earth should that be important?
Because we've been talking about her homeland. If an old, forgotten memory comes up now, it must have something to do with that.
Now, look. I think we'd better be getting back to Metropolis,
No,
or
wait.
we'll all go crazy.
Wait a minute, Chief. Now, come on, think, Rev Peyton, think.
I cannot recall its meaning.
Try.
It's too dim.
All right, Clark. Rev Peyton, what is the first thing it brings to your mind?
There's nothing I fear. I keep looking at my emerald ring.
Your ring? Who gave it to you?
My old nurse, when I was very, very little.
Oh, what is it, Rev Peyton?
Come on,
Now
say
it is recalled. My old nurse was a stranger to our land, too. And she, like France, came to Illyria on one of the days when the gates were thrown open. She never spoke of the land whence she came, save once on my 4th birthday, when she gave me this emerald ring. Take it, my princess, she said. To thee I give my last relic of my old home, Columbia, the land of the emerald.
Oh, that's a very pretty story, but I don't see
You don't see it, Chief?
No, and neither do I.
I'm amazed at both of you. It's as plain as the nose on your face, Lois. The reason Rev Peyton responded to the word Columbia was because
Ken.
Just a minute, Jim. The reason
Hey, look. There's someone at the window.
Great Scott!
Oh, he's going to break the glass.
Down, everyone! Down on the floor!
As we continue now, it is some time later. Whoever fired the shots has mysteriously disappeared. Kent, Lois, Jimmy, and Editor White are again in the hotel room with Rev Peyton.
I fear I have done nothing but cause ye trouble, my friends.
Don't be silly, Rev Peyton. It isn't your fault. Clark.
Yes, Lois?
Just before those shots were fired, you were about to tell us why Rev Peyton responded to the word Columbia.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, you remember she said her nurse had given her an emerald ring as a last relic from her homeland?
Columbia, the land of the emeralds.
Right. Well, that means the nurse came from Colombia in South America, and chances are Illyria is somewhere in that region.
Well, let's get to Illyria, then. What are we all standing around for? Get on the phone, somebody, quick.
Okay, what do I do?
What do you do? Nothing. Here, let me have that phone.
What are you going to do, Chief?
I'll get action at the airport. A fellow named Brooks runs the works down there. He's an old friend of mine.
Oh, good.
Operator, get me to Palm City Airport. And you, Lois, start getting the girl ready.
Nay, pretty, do not trouble thyself. I shall rest here quietly while thou maketh arrangements.
Good idea, Rev Peyton. You'll need your strength.
Hello?
Palm City Airport.
This is Perry White, editor of the Metropolis Daily Planet.
Yes, sir?
I want to speak to George Brooks, front office.
Mr. Brooks? One moment, please.
I'll get action, or I'll know why.
Hello, Brooks speaking.
Hello, Brooksy. This is Perry White.
Oh, hello, Perry. What can I do for you?
Well, I need a plane and a good pilot immediately. It's urgent.
I see. Well, how long a trip, Perry, and where?
Well, I'm not sure. But we'll have to have a pilot who knows South America pretty well. We'll explain when we see him.
Okay. Have a 5-passenger Stimson ready to go in half an hour.
That's fine.
Where'll you be in case I want to reach you?
The Beau Rivage Hotel.
Oh, the Beau Rivage. Okay.
Thanks very much. Well, that's all set.
Boy, things sure are moving fast. Gosh, I wish I had some kind of flying suit or something.
I suppose I'd better wear slacks.
No, don't bother. You're coming back with me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Chief, you're not serious.
Of course I'm serious.
What?
What do you think I'm running, a newspaper or a travel bureau?
Now, look, Chief,
You keep out of this car.
Yes, you keep out of this. Now, look, Lois. I'm asking you to listen to reason.
But,
Now, you know I've got a newspaper to run, and you also know I can't get along with both my star reporters, especially when we haven't any idea how long this trip is going to take.
Yes, I know.
Besides, this may be dangerous, and if I have to choose one of you, Kent's got to be the one to go. Because there has to be a man along.
A man? That's the funniest thing I've heard in years.
Oh, cut that out, Miss
Well, what do you
Lane.
mean, Lois?
Well, if you're sending Clark to protect Rev Peyton...
Yes?
Well, you'd better send Jimmy to look out for Clark.
Now, look here. I've had enough of this.
As a matter of fact, Chief, I think it would be a good idea for Jim to come along.
What?
There, didn't I tell you? He's probably scared already.
Can I really go, Mr. White?
Shut up.
Oh.
Now, these are my orders. Kent and Rev Peyton and Jimmy take off on the plane in 20 minutes.
Yippee!
Shut up, I said.
All I said was yippee.
Lois and I will carry on from Metropolis. Now, was that understood?
Well,
okay.
boy.
Then get going. Lois, help Rev Peyton to get ready. You'd better explain to her what's going to happen. Because if she sees a plane, let alone goes up in one, she may die of fright.
Okay, Chief, I'll brief her on everything.
And, Kent, you and Jim start for the airport now.
Right.
Check your course with the pilot, get everything set, and we'll meet you there in a half hour.
Well, Lois, Chief, looks like Jim, Rev Peyton, and the bird are comfortably set in the plane. Goodbye until... until...
So long, Clark. Good luck.
Thanks, Lois.
Goodbye, Kent. Take it easy now and get a good story.
You bet we will. We'll find Illyria if it still exists.
Goodbye, Mr. White, Miss Lane. Don't forget to let my mother know where I went and tell her not to worry.
All right, Rev Peyton?
Aye, Sarah Clark. It's a strange sensation, but the thought that soon mine eyes shall again behold Illyria giveth me courage and strength.
Good girl. How about you, Jim?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Hey, what do you think I am, a baby? I'm okay. I've been up in a plane before. Well, I was even in a jet plane once.
Sure, I know, but this may even be more exciting. My hunch is we're going to see things we've never even dreamed of before.
And how much longer, Sarah Clark, do you remain suspended thus in the air?
Well, following my hunch, we're heading for a part of South America near Colombia, where your emerald ring came from, the Guiana Highlands.
No kidding.
Sure. Ever hear of the Guiana Highlands, Jim?
Oh, sure. That's the part of South America where Tommy Harmon got lost. Isn't that right?
That's right.
There is naught but water and water and water to be seen.
We're over the Caribbean now, but soon we'll be sighting the mainland.
And then shall we be nigh Illyria?
Yes, it shouldn't be more than 200 miles or so from the coast. Just be patient, Rev Peyton.
Gosh, you know, Mr. Kent, just a little while ago, I was all excited about fishing on the Atlantic Ocean. And now look at me, flying over South America. I'll see the Amazon River and the Orinoco. Well, I gotta pinch myself every once in a while to make sure I'm not dreaming.
That's funny. We should be flying southwest.
Well, aren't we?
I don't know, Jim. Judging by the sun, I'd say we're heading due west.
Well, that'll never get us where we're going.
That's what worries me. Hey, Jim, something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
Why art thou frowning, Mr. Kent?
Now, there's something queer. We're flying awfully high, and I wonder if the pilot knows he's off course. Wait a minute, I'll check with him. Might as well let Florida know where we are while I'm at it. Oh, pilot!
What is it?
Open the door a minute, please.
What do you want?
I'd like to use the radio to contact Florida, if you don't mind.
Radio's out of order.
Hey, Mr. Kent, let him get back to the controls or we'll crash.
Don't worry, son. We're flying an automatic gyro. We're not crashing. At least not yet. Sorry, radio's out of order.
What are you talking about?
Just what I said. The radio's out of order.
Why didn't you report that to me before?
Look, Mr. Kent, I'm running this ship. Go back to your seat and relax.
Mr. Kent, this man is a stranger with straight black locks. Our eyes have not beheld him before. Dost thou not remember the other one?
Sure. I remember the pilot we spoke to first had curly brown hair.
That dame and the kid talk too much.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Never mind that. I'm following instructions.
You're not following the instructions I gave you.
Who said so?
I do. You were told to fly due southwest after sighting the mainland, and this ship is flying due west. Now, please step aside.
I told you the radio's out of order. If all you want to do is check the course, Here, I have the flight chart in my pocket.
Look out, Mr. Kent. He's pulling a gun.
Get back, Jim. You get back too, Mr.
Why,
Kent.
you...
Get back there with them. Please notice my gun's not pointing at you, but at that girl. If there's one move out of you, she gets it. And the kid's next. Understand? One move and the girl gets it, Kent.
Grab him, Mr. Kent. I'll stand in front of Rev Peyton. Let him shoot me.
Hey, where you are, you little fool, or I'll plug the two of you.
Do as he says, Jim.
The evil one. The evil stare from his eyes. There's death in them.
What are you after, anyway?
You'll find out.
Here, what are you doing with those controls?
Fixing them so the ship will crash.
If I crash, you will, too.
That's where you're wrong, Sonny. I'm bailing out. Don't move, any of you.
No, you're not.
Jim, look out! Mind you. I ought to plug you for that, you little punk. Out of my way. Jim, here goes. So long.
The stripling, Jim. He's dead.
No, he's just knocked out. He hit his head on the floor. Uh-oh.
Sarah Kent. Sarah Kent.
She's fainted. That's a break. With Rev Peyton and Jim both unconscious, I can get out of these clothes. But I've got to hurry. Because this is a job for Superman. Out of the broken window. There. Now, back underneath the plane like this. Oh, God. Falling so fast, I can't get a good grip. There we are, that does it. Now to straighten it out. And headed back on the right course, southeast. Okay, there we are. Now, away!
Flying swiftly and steadily, his mighty arms holding the crippled plane above his head, Superman speeds across the sky in the direction of the Guyana Highlands, his sharp eyes piercing the inky blackness, searching for a suitable landing place, while he tries to cover as much distance as possible to bring him nearer his objective, the lost land of Illyria. Suddenly he spies a vast grassy plain extending as far as the eye can reach. Down, down he streaks, and a moment later he sets the huge plane safely on the ground.
That was close. Now I'd better get back into Kent's clothes before either Jim or Rev Peyton comes too. Wonder where we are. I see hills far in the distance. Yeah, those must be the mountains of the highlands. Okay. There we are, finished. Now to see how Jimmy and Rev Peyton are.
Sarah Kent. Sarah Kent.
I'm here, Rev Peyton.
Whither art thou?
Yeah, I'm right here. Don't be frightened.
Oh, I called to thee and called to thee,
Oh?
but thou didst not answer. I thought thee dead too, like young stripling.
I guess I didn't hear you with all the noise. Don't worry about Jimmy. He just got a nasty bump on the head, but he'll be all right.
I hope thou speakest truly.
Oh, sure. Jim. Jim, come on, boy. Come on, open your eyes.
Oh, my head.
Yeah, I know it hurts, Jim, but it'll be better in a minute.
Gosh, Mr. Kent.
Come on, try to stand up.
The lad stirreth himself and speaketh. 'Tis well.
Gee whiz. What happened, Mr. Kent? Are we on the ground?
Aye.
Uh-huh.
This huge bird settled down like a dove.
You mean we crash landed?
Well, we landed all right, but luckily for us, there wasn't much of a crash.
Gosh, I don't get it.
Don't try. Come on, Jim. Up on your feet.
Okay.
Sit.
Golly, my head's spinning like a top.
Now, sit down here for a minute. You'll be okay in a jiffy.
Oh, where are we, Mr. Kent?
Aye, 'tis the same query I would wish to make. Thinkest thou we are nigh unto Illyria?
It's hard to tell from inside here. We can get our bearings better outdoors.
Oh, what are we waiting for, then? Let's go.
No, wait now. I don't know, Jim. That's a nasty bump on your head. It might be best to spend the night in the plane.
Nay, Sirrah Clark, I would not stay. My heart is heavy, and I long for the sight of my homeland. The sooner we reach it, the lighter will my heart become.
But it's pretty rough traveling at night. The country's wild, you know, and we might run...
and you're not exactly dressed for it, Rev Peyton.
Oh, my robes will not hinder me. Fear thee not that I shall hold thee back.
Well, okay then. Let's take a look outside anyway. We can decide where we'll spend the night later.
Oh, sleeping lizards. What are those noises, Mr.
It's the
Kent?
sound of the jungle which surrounded us.
That's right.
Oh, I don't see any jungle. Nothing but a lot of grass. That's all I can see.
Aye, underfoot is like dried out straw and earth which had been baked long in a hot sun.
I'm getting my bearings now.
Where do you think we are, Mr. Kent?
Must be the Orinoco Valley.
Orinoco?
That's right. I'd guess that Illyria lies somewhere between the Orinoco and the Amazon rivers.
The names are strange to me, Sir Claude. But from the hills in my land, one can see two slender bodies of water. And far, far beyond, the deep blue sea.
Well, that would be right, then. Two slender bodies of water would be the Orinoco and the Amazon rivers, and the Blue Sea, the Caribbean.
But how can you be sure we're in the Orinoco Valley now?
Well, it looks that way.
Well, it only looks like dried out grass to me.
That's what I mean, Jim. See, this would be the dry season in the valley. The grass becomes parched and burned at that time and finally disappears. If it were light now, you'd probably see big patches of earth that didn't have any grass at all.
You mean just plain dirt?
Aye, it cometh back to me now. Hercules hath told me how often, not too far away from Illyria, the earth becomes hot and dry, and often splits in twain. 'Twas perhaps of this that he spake.
You see, Jim, once we've passed over this valley, we'll probably find heavy jungle. Hey, wait a minute.
What's that rumbling?
'Tis thunder raging in the heavens. Soon lightning will strike.
How can that be? You said it was the dry season, Mr. Kent.
It is the dry season. I'm sure there won't be a rainstorm.
I feel it now. The earth trembleth and shaketh.
Weep and listen. It's an earthquake.
Oh, it's not an earthquake, but run. Jim, run. Get away from the plane.
Come on, Rip Hayden.
I'll carry her. Get going.
Leave me. Save thyself, Jim.
Nonsense. Try to keep up with me, Jim.
I am. How much further?
As far away from the plane as we can get. Come on, Jim. Faster. Faster.
Mr. Kent. Mr. Kent.
What is it, Jim?
My foot. It's caught in a crack in the earth.
What?
I can't get it out.
You stay here, Rep Peyton.
Aye, but hurry.
I will. Here I come, Jim.
Over here, Mr. Kent. Over here.
I see you. Here, I'll get my arms around your waist like this. Now, you just relax while I pull.
Okay.
Oh, you're wedged in there solid. Let yourself go, Jim. Lift. And now, one more tug. There.
So that's it. I'm free.
All right, hang on just the way you are. I'll carry you.
You don't have to. I can make it.
Keep quiet and do as you're told. There we are. Okay, now try to stand up.
It's getting louder and louder.
Aye, this is as though the whole world trembles.
I can't look at the plane.
Uh-oh.
Look at our plane.
That's what I was afraid of.
The earth just opened up and swallowed. What happened, Mr. Kent? Was that an earthquake?
No, Jim. Are you all right, Rev Peyton?
Aye, so many strange things have occurred to me. It is as though I were waking from a dream.
Oh, it's more like a nightmare to me. Well, what was it, Mr. Kent? Where'd the plane disappear to?
Well, if you'd studied geography a little harder, Jim, you'd know.
What do you mean? What's geography got to do with this?
Well, during the dry season, the land in the Orinoco Valley dries out so much that the earth splits open. Sometimes the holes are as big as a city block and thousands of feet deep.
Golly. The world, indeed. It's a wondrous place.
It certainly is.
Oh, look, Mr. Kent. Does this mean we'll never see that airplane again?
I'm afraid it does, Jim.
Well, what are we going to do? We're 1,000,000 miles from nowhere.
Well, first we've got to find a clump of bushes or a few trees.
What good will that do us?
We can build a lean-to and spend the night there.
Oh, it's a good thing Nakoma's feathers glow in the dark. At least we'll have some light.
Oh, hark! Nakoma hears something. Perhaps it's one of his own feathered friends. Fly, Nakoma. Fly whither thou wouldst.
Boy, look at him go.
Let's head that way. He'll call us if he finds something, won't he?
Aye, he's a wise bird, my Nakoma.
You mean he understands what we're looking for?
'Tis not the spoken word, I warrant, which impresses itself upon him, but he seemeth to grasp what is in our minds and hearts.
Oh, yeah, I see. Hey, he's calling us.
Well, come on. Let's see what he's found.
Hey, wait. Ease up, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
You're walking too fast for Rev Peyton.
Oh,
Nay. Let me not hinder thee.
No, Jim's right. I'd better carry you again, Rev Peyton.
Nakoma is impatient. He calleth us again.
Okay. Up you go.
Oh, now, wait, Mr. Kent.
Come on.
If you carry her, you'll get all tired out, and then where'll we be?
Now, stop worrying, Jim. We'll take each thing as it comes along. You walk on ahead like a good fellow, but not too fast. And watch your step. Come on, let's go.
Gosh, pitch black. Wish we had a flashlight.
If wishes were horses, Jim, beggars would ride.
Aye, it's true.
Sleeping lizard.
What's the matter now, Jim?
I almost got my foot caught in another one of those cracks.
Uh-oh, I told you to watch your step. Come on.
Hey, there he is. There's Nakoma.
Tis his bright light that we see.
Uh-huh. He's coming toward us now.
Look, he's trying to make us follow him.
Aye, Nakoma. We follow thee. Lead on, lead on.
I can see the trees now. And I hear a stream of water, too.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Nakoma sees us to fly. He awaited our arrival, perhaps.
Feels like the grass is getting softer under our feet.
That's right. The dryness hasn't reached this spot yet, or else we're nearing the jungle.
What? You were right, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
There's a brook here, all right.
Good. That means we'll have fresh water. All right, now let's get going and build a lean-to.
Are you sure after we get it all built, the ground won't split open and swallow it up and us with it?
I doubt it, Jim. If there's water running, the ground can't be dried out. We're at the edge of the jungle.
Okay. Now, what about the lean-to? How do we build it?
Well, I guess we won't have to. Those two trees there make a natural arch, and I'll just stretch my trench coat over the branches like this. There, and presto, we've got a tent. See?
Well, it's not much of a tent.
Oh, I know, but it'll do for tonight.
What if it rains?
It can't. Remember the cracks in the ground?
Huh? Oh, dry season, huh?
Right. Now, I suggest you both stretch out and get some sleep. You'll probably have a big day tomorrow. You'll need your strength.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going back to see whether I can salvage something from the plane.
Alone in the dark?
Oh, don't worry. I'll just look around. Come on now. Both of you get as comfortable as you can.
Okay, you're the boss.
You all right, Rev Peyton?
Aye.
All set, Jim?
Uh-huh.
Good. I'll be back soon. Now, I've got to work fast as Superman. Find out how close we are to civilization and get some help. Can't take Jim and Rev Peyton through the jungle on foot. Off with these clothes.
Look out! Look out, Rip Peyton!
Great Scott, what's happened back there?
Sir, I can't! Sir, I can't!
Yes, I'm coming!
Sir, I can't! Hurry!
What?
The beast! He has Jim in his claws!
Jim!
Hey, Mr. Kent, hurry! He's gonna jump!
Great Scott! A jaguar! Out!
What? You killed him. He's dead.
Oh, thanks, Rai. Thanks.
That goes for me, too.
I shouldn't have left you two alone. We better all stick together from now on, I guess.
Gosh, you killed him with your bare hands, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
You broke his neck. How'd you do it?
Oh, I was just lucky, Jim, I guess. His neck must have snapped against a rock, I guess.
Boy, I'll say that was luck. Mr. Kent, what kind of an animal is it?
Thou called him a jag something.
Yes, it's a jaguar.
Oh.
That's a South American panther.
A panther?
Uh-huh.
Sleeping lizards. Sure looks fierce.
Yeah. Yes, Rep Peyton?
Speak low.
What?
What are you staring at, Rep Peyton?
Take care. Turn around slowly so as not to startle him.
Startle whom?
There's a savage hiding in the brush, and he has a sling and poison darts in his hand. Take care.
I see him.
Where?
Don't move, Jim. Oh, it's too late. He knows we've seen him. There he goes.
It's likely he has gone to warn his tribesmen.
Are the natives friendly in these parts, Rep Peyton?
It is not easy to say. There are tribes which are friendly, and there are others which are not.
That's not much help.
Maybe we better not wait to find out whether these are friendly or not, Mr. Kent. Maybe we ought to get moving.
From the paint on his face and the necklace of human teeth around his throat, I'd say... Oh, but no, I'm not certain.
Oh, go ahead, Rep Peyton. Do you think you recognize the tribe he's from?
I cannot say absolutely.
Tell us anyway. We've got to know sooner or later.
Methinks he belonged to a tribe of headhunters.
Headhunters? Jeepers. What'll we do, Mr. Kent?
Take it easy, Jim. Nothing's happened yet.
Oh, drums. Just as I thought. The runner had notified his tribesmen. They approach even as we speak.
Golly. Just hearing those drums gives me the shivers. Let's get out of here, Mr. Kent.
We can't, Jim. Even if we want to.
Why not?
Because in the first place, we don't know where to go. And in the second place, we're already completely surrounded by savages.
Kent, are we just going to stand here and wait for them to pounce on us?
Well, we don't know yet that they're unfriendly, Jim.
What are we supposed to do? Wait till they boil one of us alive to make sure?
Jim.
Well, they're headhunters, aren't they?
So Rev Peyton says, but we...
I, the one we saw hiding in the bush, wore a necklace of human teeth.
Remind us of that, please.
Steady, Jim.
How can I be steady when I'm shaking all over?
Please draw closer. Please try not to act afraid. They're friendly. Mayhap they can guide us to Illyria.
And if they're not...
What's
that? Quiet.
We'll find out soon enough.
One of them comes nigh. Speaks out to him, Sarah Kent.
What white man want here? We no like stranger.
We are friends.
No friend, no friend. We trap headhunter. We not know your friend. No like talk, no want talk. We headhunter. We kill.
Nice sociable fella. Tell him my head's no good, Mr. Kent. Tell him there's nothing in it.
If you don't keep quiet, he may find that out too soon.
Woman, who's she?
Talking to you, Mr. Kent.
My people say woman is not stranger. Who's she?
Wait. Are you the chief of this tribe?
Me not chief. Me medicine man.
Well, maybe you'd better let the chief decide what to do with us.
Chief, come now. Do not move.
Be careful, Mr. Kent. We're not going to look good with our heads on.
Quiet, Jim.
Oh, white man. White woman. White man, stranger. Woman, see now, stranger.
No, Sarah. We are friends.
Then you are Rev Peyton, woman from Illyria.
Aye, Sarah. Rev Peyton is my name.
Speaking lizards. He knows you, Mr. Kent.
You, friends, come see us one time each year. Bring medicine and good food for my people.
Aye, Sarah. I came when the gates of Illyria were thrown open one day a year. And now, may I present my friends to thee?
To you, white men, I say, you friends of Princess, you friends of mine. Now, I talk to my people.
You really visited them, Rev Peyton?
I believe I did, once a year.
Weren't you scared?
Nay, they knew I wanted nothing from them but to know them better, to be their friends.
Here comes the chief again.
My people wish to know why you here.
Tell him, Rev Peyton. Tell him we're lost.
Chief, we are lost. We are looking for the land of Illyria.
My people, friends to Illyria. My people help.
Oh, that's wonderful. Will you help us find our way to Illyria?
My scouts lead you there. It's not very far, but through deep jungle.
Oh, I see. Is your village on the way?
Why you ask that?
The Princess Rev Peyton is tired. I think it might be a good idea if she remained behind with you.
He will be welcome.
What about me, Mr. Kent?
We'll go with the scouts to Illyria.
Oh, boy.
Then he's agreed. We go now to village. There we make more plans.
That's fine.
Ugata, right on.
Boy, wait till I tell Beanie about this, Mr. Kent. Getting escorted through the jungle by a tribe of headhunters. How do you like that?
You weren't so happy about it a few minutes ago, Jim.
Nay, thou wert trembling like a leaf in the wind.
Oh, sure, I was scared stiff. I could just see my teeth hanging around one of their necks. Well, what's funny about that? I just had my teeth fixed, too.
Stop it, Jim. You're killing me.
We come soon to village where Princess will rest. The man and the boy will go with scouts to Illyria.
Thank you.
He's got a lot of nerve calling me a boy.
What would you rather be, a boy with a head or a man without one?
Oh, okay, you win.
Oh, look, the chief's motioning for us to step on him.
Let's hurry. I don't want to cross him up.
Well, getting to like your head, aren't you, Jim?
You bet. And right where it is, on my neck. Gosh, Mr. Kent, it's scary here outside Illyria. No moon, no stars, nothing. And it's so quiet.
I know, but keep your voice down, Jim. Sound travels at night.
Yeah. Even when I breathe, it sounds like fireworks on the 4th of July. I know what I'll do.
Jim, put that feather away.
That's why Rev Peyton plucked it from Nakoma, so we could have some light.
No, but that feather glows in the dark like a flashlight. Somebody might spot it. Now put it away.
Okay. What are you figuring on doing now? The wall's too high and too thick. We'll never be able to get inside.
I'll just feel along here on the wall. There may be a crack or something. You wait there.
I don't think you'll find any cracks in this wall, Mr. Kent.
Could be.
What's that?
Look, Jim. Over here.
Sleeping lizards. The wall. It's got a hole in it big enough to crawl through.
Uh-huh.
But how? I don't understand.
I just happened to kick it in the right spot. Probably a weak stone.
Boy, are we in luck. See, what if somebody heard that noise?
We'll have to chance that. Come on. Let's not waste any time. Crawl through, but quietly. Take it easy.
And through, Mr. Kent. Come on.
Okay, keep low. Here I come.
What now?
Now we have to find Hercamine. I have a note to him from Rev Peyton.
Yeah, I know, but how do we do that?
Well, let's try to locate his house. Come on.
Well, where did Rev Peyton say the house was?
Said it was right near the west wall. Gold grill work on a white stone, she said. Jimmy, look. There. That must be it.
I'll try the door.
Okay.
Bolted.
Oh? All right, try knocking, but softly.
Right.
Chances are Hercamine's asleep. We may have to wait until dawn.
Yeah. That's not going to be too good.
Just quiet. Wait a minute. Someone's coming.
Who standeth without?
Friends.
It findeth no friend well to knock on this door tonight.
Let us in. We must talk to Hercamine.
Who art thou who calls for Hercamine in the dead of night?
We'll explain to him when we see him.
Alack, alas. Hercamine will be seen by his friends no more.
What? What do you mean?
By the order of Franz, Grand Master of Illyria, the great and good Hercamine goes to his death within the hour.
Looks as if we're at a dead end again, Mr. Kent.
We'll figure something out, Jim.
Yeah, sure. But what? We don't even know where Hercamine is.
Well, we just have to find out.
I guess we better look for a jail or something.
Well, remember, it won't be the same kind of jail we have in Metropolis. Illyria didn't have any criminals.
Yeah, that's right. Look, the sun's coming up.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, what a beautiful city.
Sure is.
Is that gold on the roofs of the buildings?
Looks like it. All right, we got to be careful now that it's light, Jim.
I'll say. What do we do, hide?
No, we've got to find Hercamine.
Yeah, but how do we do that and keep from being seen?
Just have to duck down back streets.
Okay, when do we start?
Right this minute. Follow me.
Nobody around yet. Streets are empty.
It won't be for long. I hear voices.
I don't.
Around that corner, I think.
I hear them now.
Stick close to the wall.
Good thing that roofs of these houses jut out. They kind of keep us in the shadow.
Be quiet, Jim. Don't move. Someone's coming.
Didst thou hear the news? That Hercamine dies within the hour? Nay, there has been a change. Before Hercamine is put to death, Franz has decreed he is to face the council to confess his crime.
But what crime has the good and wise Hercamine committed? It is beyond belief.
Did you hear that, Mr. Kent?
Yes.
What do we do?
Get going as fast as we can. Come on.
What are you twisting and turning for, Mr. Kent? You act as though you know where you're going, but...
Well, I don't exactly, but I'm following a hunch.
A hunch about what?
Oh, just a hunch, that's all, Jim.
Gosh, I wish we didn't have to race through these streets with our heads down. I'd like to see what Illyria looks like.
Don't slow down now, Jim. We're almost at the end of our trail. Here we are now, Jim.
What's this?
The palace. Franz lives there.
Jeepers, are we...
Keep your voice down. Come on, we'll sneak in. Be very quiet.
Okay, you're the boss.
Hold it.
What's the matter?
Someone in the corridor up ahead. Can hear their voices.
Probably some guard.
Could be. We'll trace the voices and find out what's going on. You with me, Jim?
Right behind you.
Good.
They sound closer now.
Yes, they're coming from that room over there with the double doors. It's the council chamber.
How do you know?
Never mind. Come on. The small room next to it is empty.
Shall I close the door behind us, Mr. Kent?
Yes, but quietly.
Okay.
Good. Now try not to make any noise, Jim.
Gosh, I hope nobody catches us in here. I don't like the feel of this place.
Relax. Now stand close to the wall. Put your ear against it. You can hear everything that's being said in the council chamber next door.
No kidding.
Try it.
I ask thee once again,
Hey,
and I order thee to answer. Is the princess
Who's that,
Rasputin
Mr. Kent?
alive
Must be
or
Franz.
dead?
I have told thee, Franz, no words more concerning our beloved princess will cross my lips.
Well, since thou wilt not tell me, I will tell thee. The princess Rasputin lives.
Strange that thou shouldst know this, when supposedly thou hast no communication with the outside world.
He's a German, all right, Mr. Kent, trying to
Why
talk like
dost
they do.
thou
Quiet, Jim.
continue to play out this farce, Franz? These people gathered in this room are no longer lovers of Illyria, but are rather plotters with thee against her. I hold their decisions in no more honor than thine.
Enough of thy stupid babbling, Hercules. We are no longer interested in thee or thy theories, old man.
That I know, but forget not, there are others in Illyria who will rise up against thee and thy fellow traitors.
Where art thy friends, Longbeard? Talking on street corners, maybe, full of sorrow and dread? But they are soft. Soft! Too much peace and too much justice has made them soft.
Hear that,
Thou
Jim?
wilt live to see thy doom at their hands. Aye, they have forgotten how to fight, but attack what which they love, their freedom. They will learn again. They will rise, as men have always risen to defend freedom.
We shall see. The people are rebellious now, but only in words. When thou art dead, they will think only of saving themselves from a like fate.
'Twould be worth my life to prove thee wrong, Franz. But thou art a coward at the base of thy heart. Thou wouldst not dare take the chance.
Good for you.
Thy thoughts will choke in thy throat when it feels the tightening of the noose. God! Lead this man to the public square. And see that he be hanged immediately from the gallows I have built therein. And I myself shall follow to kick the stools from beneath his feet.
We gotta break in, Mr. Kent. We gotta save them.
No, Jim.
But they're gonna hang him, didn't you hear?
Easy, Jim. The people of Illyria must see that Franz really intends to go through with this execution. We can't stop it now.
But Mr. Kent, Hercules might be dead before we can do anything.
Jim!
Please. There's Hercules now, Mr. Kent, going up the steps to the gallows.
Looks as though all Illyria is here.
Gosh, he doesn't seem to be the least bit afraid.
Hercules is a wise old man, Jim. He's teaching his people a lesson.
Yeah, but that's no reason for us to let him die.
Take it easy, Jim.
Take it easy? Gee whiz, how can you say that when they've got him up on the stool already?
Wait a minute, Jim. Look. He's shaking his head. He doesn't want them to tie his hands behind it. The crowd's not even moving.
Not a single person's willing to take a chance on saving him. And we're cowards like all the rest.
Don't worry, Jim. I told you I had a plan.
I know you didn't, and I believe you. But gosh, Mr. Kent, when do you expect to do something about it? Look, they're putting the rope around his neck.
Wait here a minute, Jim.
Where are you going?
Just wait. Don't move from this spot. I'll be right back.
And where thou art, sirrah?
Keep him, listen, it's a guard.
Let me by, please.
If thou movest from the spot,
Mr. Kent,
Let me-
Francis is going to kick the stool out from under him.
Run, Jim, run! Head for the hole in the wall!
stand where thou art, sirrah. Thou art a stranger in our midst.
Let me by, please.
Do not move, or I will run thee through with my sword.
Run away, Jim. Wait for me at the hole in the wall.
No, they'll kill Hercules and you too, Mr. Kent.
Do as I tell you, Jim. It's the only way any of us can be saved.
And do not move.
Run, Jim, run!
Okay.
Let the stripling go. When I am done with thee, it will be time enough to seek him out.
Put your sword up, my friend.
I'd as soon put it through thee. Ha! Merciful heavens! The blade crumpled on thy chest.
Too bad you had to spoil a good sword, but don't say I didn't warn you. Now, out of my way. Scared the life out of the poor fellow. Good thing, too. He'll help arouse the people, and I'll have a few seconds more to get out of these clothes. I was right. The guard screaming stopped Franz dead in his tracks just as he was about to put the noose around Hercules' neck. And now Superman can take over. Up, up, and away! I'll circle above the crowd. Give them a good look at me. There. Now, down to the gallows. Down. Away from that man, Franz. What devil art thou? Get away, I said.
Look, Franz runneth away.
Let him run. I'll take care of him later. I gotta get you out of here first. Are you ready, sir?
Yea, verily, I am ready.
Hold on now. Up, up, and away!
This clearing looks like a safe spot, Hercamine. It's deep in the forest and not too near the wall.
My faith is fast in thee, Birdman. Decide thou, and I shall agree.
Good. You sit here on this tree stump and rest while I look for Jim.
Jim? Is a name that is not known to me.
Oh, he's a young friend of mine who also came to help rescue you.
I did not know I had so many well-wishers. Where is he now?
Waiting for me just outside the walls of Illyria.
Then hasten to him, I beseech thee. Illyria is safe no longer for an honest man.
Well, you will be all right if I leave you here alone?
Aye. We are quite far removed from the city. 'Tis men alone make evil. Here in the forest, all nature is my friend.
I'll be back in a few minutes. Up, up, and away!
Oh, Superman.
Glad you saw me first, Jim. Didn't want to scare you.
Gosh, I was thinking about you, hoping you'd come. Nobody but you can save Hercamine.
That's been done.
You mean...
Hercamine is waiting for us in the forest.
Oh, gosh, that's wonderful. I was so scared Mr. Kent wouldn't be able to... Say, where is Mr. Kent?
Huh?
He was supposed to meet me here. Is he in the forest, too?
Oh, no, Hercamine's alone.
Well, then where is Mr. Kent?
Oh, he's...
He told me to wait here for him.
Yes, but his plans have changed. He'll expect to find you with Hercamine.
Oh, okay, if you say so.
You all set?
Yep, I'm ready.
Then up, up, and away! Here we are, Hercamine.
Thou hast returned, Birdman. And this is Jim, the young stripling thou hast mentioned.
Yeah, that's me. Superman saved you just in the nick of time, didn't he?
Aye. So that is what they call the Superman.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's his name. Look, I've got something to show you, Hercamine. Got it in my pocket. Here, look.
A small red feather. 'Tis like unto... But nay, it cannot be.
Sure, it's Nakoma's feather.
Nakoma. Then thou hast seen Ref Payton?
Well, I'll say we have. We found her on the ocean.
The heavens pour forth blessings.
It's true, Hercamine. Rev Payton is safe and well.
Could you take me to her? My heart longs to see my beloved princess once again.
Can you, Superman?
I don't see why not. But I have some important business to attend to first.
Well, that's right. You've got to find Mr. Kent. I forgot about him. See, where do you suppose he is?
I'm going back to Illyria to find out. You two wait here, and I'll see that Kent picks you up as soon as our business is finished.
Okay, Superman. But hurry. I don't like the idea of his being in Illyria all by himself.
He'll be all right. Now, remember, don't move from this spot.
Aye, we will await thee here. Fare thee well.
So long. Now, up, up, and away! There he is, in that room. And alone, too. Greetings, Franz.
You, the one who flies.
Yes, put that dagger down.
I will put it where it belongs, in your heart. You are a devil. The blade does not pierce your body.
A very keen observation, my friend.
What do you want with me?
You'll find out soon enough.
Do not come any near.
Oh, still think you can give orders, eh? Well, I'm glad of one thing, anyway.
What are you talking about?
That you dropped this thee and thou stuff. Now you sound like the person you really are, a Nazi.
I will see that you suffer for this. I am still Grand Master of Illyria.
You're a Nazi and nothing more. You're one of the few who managed to escape from Berlin. Now that we understand each other, get back to that radio.
Radio? What radio?
Oh, now don't play dumb with me. I heard the radio static when I was coming down the hall. You're trying to contact someone, aren't you? You got a shortwave transmitter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your smart little game is up front. Now, where's the radio?
Let me go. You're choking me.
Where's the radio?
It's over there. In the desk.
Oh, hidden in a drawer, eh? Ah, look there. Transmitter and receiver made in Germany. Whom were you trying to contact when I broke in?
No one. I was just playing with it.
Just playing with a 250-watt transmitter? Look, this isn't a toy, mister. Now, whom are you trying to contact?
No one. No one, I tell you.
All right, we'll open the receiver and wait for whoever it was to contact you. In the meantime, you can tell me about your setup. What's behind all this?
I don't know what you mean.
You know exactly what I mean. You came to Illyria soon after the war ended. How you happened to find it, I don't know. But you immediately set about to take it over. You decided it would be a good place to rebuild a Nazi party, didn't you?
Who told you that?
Nobody had to tell me. It's no secret that South America was full of Nazis when the war ended. For all we know, that's where Hitler may be hiding out if he isn't dead.
You do not know what you're saying.
Not much, I don't.
Illyria.
Oh.
Illyria.
Here it comes.
Illyria. 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 Coming, please.
Threatening to crush Franz in his bare hands, Superman once again forced the renegade Nazi to identify the voice on the radio. Franz admitted it was the leader of an army of 5,000 Germans on their way to take over Illyria, to use it as a secret base for rebuilding the Nazi state. Immediately, the man of steel flew to a hill just outside the open gates of the city. There, an amazing sight met his eyes. I can see them now. Thousands of them, all armed to the teeth. Stand back, Illyrians! Stand back and close the gates of your city! Hurry! Now then, these big boulders piled up here will come in handy. Up with as big as what? Oh, this must weigh 5 tons. Now, into the air with it. Up, and away! There we are. Right over them. That's it. Look up. Here it comes. Catch it. Now, back for another one. I'll keep this up as long as the rocks last. Away! Swooping down for another huge boulder, Superman wages his own one-man bombing attack on France's panic-stricken Nazi army, while the whole population of Illyria swarms to the gates to witness the miracle that is saving their city. But meanwhile, France and a few of his traitorous henchmen have gathered in the Grand Palace. The Grand Master of Illyria is furious and desperate.
Who is this creature who flies? Where did he come from?
We do not know, sire. He appeared as out of nowhere.
Did you not say that one of the guards saw 2 strangers, a man and a boy, in a public square behind the gallows?
That is so, sire.
Then where are they?
They disappeared.
So, they disappeared. Into nowhere. And this devil appeared out of nowhere, huh? You're fools! All of you! Where are the other guards?
All but 2 have deserted.
Deserted, huh? Do they know how we treat deserters in the German army?
They say you tricked them, sire. And that now they will stand against you, even if it means their lives.
Ah, that is bad. It means these people are not as soft as I thought.
I fear, sire, whatever thou wilt try is now doomed to failure.
We will see about that.
Thou hast plans?
Yes, I have plans. If I cannot use Illyria to rebuild the glorious Nazi state, then I will see to it that Illyria is wiped from the face of this earth. I will burn the city to the ground, so that nothing will be left but barren ashes.
But will not the creature with the red cape who flies stop thee?
He is too busy now. Come with me. Quickly.
And so, while Superman still battles relentlessly against the swiftly diminishing army, France and the few henchmen who are still faithful to him light torches and proceed to set fire to the city of Illyria. Meanwhile, Hercamine and Jimmy wait impatiently in the forest clearing. For some time now, ominous sounds have been reaching them. Sounds they can neither identify nor understand.
Do you hear that, Hercamine?
Aye, my son. Curious sounds fill the air. Mayhap 'tis thunder.
Sounds more like there's some kind of a fight going on in Illyria. But what worries me is where's Superman and where's Clark Kent?
We must wait and be patient, boy.
I don't want to be patient anymore. They might be in trouble.
What wouldst thou do? Join the fray thyself?
Well, I guess you're too old. But, Hercamine, if there's a fight and if Mr. Kent is in trouble, I gotta help. Don't you see? I just gotta.
I understand, my son. We will set forth at once for Illyria. I shall lead the way. Come.
And so Jimmy Olsen and Hercamine start their journey toward the walls of the city. And even further away, a frail girl, the Princess Rev Peyton, hurries from her hut to her friend, the chief of a native tribe.
May I speak with you, Siegel?
Speak, Princess.
I fear for my country. I fear for Hercamine, for Mr. Kent, and the slipping James.
What you want I do?
Will thou help me to find them?
White men say, you wait here.
Aye, that I know, but I'm well rested now. It is not disobedience which spurs me on, but the desire to help my friends. They may be in trouble.
Very well. I will order strongest and swiftest runners to carry you. I go before.
Good. Let us hasten then. Let us delay no longer.
At once, Princess. Dago, my Linda.
In a little while, Rev Peyton, the chief, and 2 runners set forth for her troubled land. Meanwhile, Hercamine and Jim are approaching that part of the wall outside Illyria where Superman had originally broken through.
Wait, James.
What's the matter, Hercamine?
Someone approaches.
Where? I don't see anyone.
Look, behind us.
Sleeping lizards. It's the chief of the headhunters.
Aye, and with him is Rev Peyton, my princess.
Rev Peyton? Holy smokes. She shouldn't have come here. This is no place for a girl.
Hercamine, James, what's come to pass here? What is happening in Illyria?
We don't know ourselves. But whatever it is, it's something pretty terrible.
Can we climb these walls? Is it at all possible?
No, wall is too high.
We don't have to. There's a hole here we can crawl through. But you stay outside, Rev Peyton. Illyria's no place for you.
Nay, in my country's need. I will not think of protecting myself.
My princess, I am proud of thee. My teachings have not fallen on barren ears.
Well, okay, it's just around the corner. Let's get going.
Merciful heaven.
Nay, mine eyes do deceive me.
Just look at him. He picks them off like they were flies.
'Tis unbelievable.
Heaven. James, look.
What frightens thee, child?
What's the matter?
Look, over there. Flames are spouting from Francis' window.
It's a lizard, she's right. And from that house over there, too.
Aye, and that one there.
All is here. Going to be slain.
Mr. Kent, where's he? Where is he?
James, wait.
My boy, take clear of the building. The rafters are about to fall.
I don't care. I gotta find Mr. Kent. I gotta find him. Look over there.
The house of France in flames.
Who could have done this? Surely none of the enemy had entered these walls while Superman standeth without.
France himself must have committed this lowest of crimes.
Mr. Kent, he said he was coming back here to see France. Stephen, listen. He must be in that burning house. I'm going after him.
Wait, James. It is too dangerous.
It will do thee no good to take senseless chances.
I'm not gonna wait. Not another minute.
Take him in the must stop him.
It is useless. His friend is in danger, and...
Look, he enters the blazing building even now.
Aye, may the heavens watch over him.
Hello, Rev Peyton. Hercules. Where's Jim?
Superman,
What's the matter?
This is flipping James. We are concerned for him.
Oh, where is he?
He is seeking his friend, Mr. Kent.
And despite all our warnings, ran even now into yon blazing house.
You mean Jim in that inferno? Wait, Scott, I've got to go after him. Up, and away! Oh, the smoke is thick. Jim! Jim, where are you? Jim, answer me! Uh-oh. Roof's starting to collapse. Got to find that boy. Poor kid, he went in to save me. Jim! Jim, do you hear me? Wait a minute. I heard something. Oh, there, over toward the right. That's Jim under a fallen beam. I'll hold it here. Up with it. There. Okay, Jim, you're all right now. I've got you, boy. Up, and away! Okay, Jim, it's okay. Come on, boy, open your eyes.
Listen. Where am I?
You're with me, Jim.
With you? Oh, Superman.
That's right. Now breathe deeply. Get that smoke out of your lungs.
I'm all right now.
I hope so. You know enough not to run into burning buildings? I got to you just in time.
Yep. Mr. Kent. I didn't find Mr. Kent.
Oh, he's okay. You don't have to worry about him.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Yeah, if you say so. See, I feel like a 10-ton truck's been lifted off my chest.
Well, that means your lungs are clear, but keep on taking deep breaths.
Oh, I'm fine. Honest, I am. But, hey, look. Superman. All of Illyria's burning, the whole city.
Yes, Franz did that part of his job well.
But you took care of the Nazis that were trying to get in, didn't you?
Yes, I don't think they'll bother anyone again, Jim.
Yeah, I saw you slugging it out with them. Gee, that was something.
No more than they deserve. Say, look, Jim. Rev Peyton and Hercules are running toward us. Let's go and meet them.
Sure thing.
Come on.
Rev Peyton.
This now indeed, James. I was frightened for you.
Oh, it was nothing. I'm fine.
I am glad I am for that.
It was a brave thing to do, lad, but foolhardy.
Well, it's all over and done with now. No sense talking about it anymore.
Thou dost not welcome this discussion of brave deeds, Superman? Well, perhaps then thou wouldst take it amiss were I to thank thee in the name of Illyria for saving us from the invader.
Oh, I'm glad I could help, but... You know, back home we've learned that it's our business to worry about our friends as well as about ourselves.
Aye, and we in Illyria understand that too. Now that we've seen again that freedom must be fought for. Look how the people swarm now from the gate. Wonder and fury still in their faces.
Let's get to work and start putting the fires out.
Nay, Superman. From the bottom of my heart I thank thee. But the homes of my people are already too far gone for thee to save now. Whatever there is to salvage, they must start to do themselves.
I understand, Hercules. You're a wise man.
I thank thee, Superman. But I await the decision of my people. Whatever their fate, I will share it with them. People of Illyria, gather water and sand and put the flames to rest. They are your homes to be fought for and saved by you alone. See, the people are aroused against France.
That's not so good, Hercules. They might get out of hand.
Gee, if They look like they're ready to burn him in oil.
I have never seen our people so overwrought.
Shall we follow them? I'd like to get to Franz first. I've got something to settle with him.
They caught him. Look, they've got him, and the 2 guards with him.
Now they move towards the square. Let us hasten there.
Franz trembling. He's here at the people's wrath.
Sure got something to be afraid of. They're not kidding now.
But this is not the way. There are other means of dealing with traitors.
Hey, look what they're doing.
Aye, leading him to the very scaffold whereon I stood only a few hours before.
Well, Hercules.
Yes, Franz built that scaffold to hang Hercules.
Boy, oh boy, some twist. And now they've got him there. Hang him! Death to the traitor!
Superman, this is not good either.
No, Hercules. You stay here with Red Peyton and Jimmy.
Where are you going, Superman?
You'll see, Jim. I better handle this my own way. Now, right over the heads of the crowd to the scaffold. Away! People of Illyria, listen to me. I beg of you, listen. People of Illyria, all that I wish to say is this. You saw yourselves how on false evidence and wicked accusations the Princess Red Peyton and the wise Hercules were condemned to death. They were condemned without benefit of fair trial. Now, here on this scaffold, you are doing the same thing to Franz.
He is guilty. He betrayed us.
Yes, I believe he is guilty. But he still has the right to a fair trial in a court of law where his punishment must be decided with reason, with wisdom, and with justice. A fair trial is the first foundation of a true democracy.
The great Superman speaks wisdom, my people.
Yes, Superman is right.
Let justice be the first cornerstone of the new Illyria, which will arise from the ashes of the old. For no matter what the trials and tribulations, justice will always triumph. And so the mystery of Princess Red Peyton, the Sleeping Beauty, comes to an end. And shortly, Superman, with Jimmy Olsen in his arms, will be speeding back toward Metropolis, where, all unknown to him, a new and baffling adventure is already taking shape and form. Fellows and girls, beginning Monday, Superman, with the help of Batman and Robin, tackles a sinister and mysterious menace in Chapter 1 of The Secret of Meteor Island. Don't miss it. It's one of the strangest stories you'll ever hear. Listen Monday, same time, same station, for the beginning of The Secret of Meteor Island on The Adventures of Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Comics magazine and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time. Watch for the Superman Adventure serial soon to be shown at your local movie theater. This program came from New York. Stay tuned to your Mutual station for Captain Midnight, which follows in just a moment. And right after Captain Midnight, you'll hear Tom Mix and his Ralston Straight Shooter. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.